See that the continued development as this season moves on. Obviously had a chance as a weekend starter early, now kind of relegated to bullpen duty, but that's a step in the right direction.
The 1-1 fouled back into the screen behind the plate. Marshak falls behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. To your point, Raging Cajuns batting as a team .258. That's not going to knock you over. But again, their aggressive nature. Coach Johnson told us look for bunts. Look for them to try to get aboard any way possible, and then they'll get aggressive, put pressure on the defense. The 1-2 again fouled back into the screen. Floyd stays ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Ty's last 2 outings have been perfect innings of relief, and we know LSU starting pitching on the weekend is generally not going to give them 15 innings, so they got to have as many bullpen guys as possible. Hopefully Ty can become a reliable guy in that role. This is an audition for that tonight.
The 1-2 lifted in the air, but it will find the seats in left out of play. Rotolo's foul ball. A reminder, Rotolo's Pizzeria, they got the dough you really want. So go on in, have a drink or two. They'll fix you up something new. Slide into a Rotolo's near you. 1 out, top of the first. Here's the 1-2 from Floyd. Fastball misses outside to even it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You look at Louisiana-Lafayette again out of the Sun Belt Conference. A really strong, if you will, mid-major baseball conference. Here's the 2-2, and again jammed him but fouls it back out of play. Count remains 2-2. Coastal Carolina, of course, we all remember, won it all in 2016.
Yeah, we sure do. And it showed up right on this field.
And got through here at Baton Rouge. Georgia Southern reaching the top 25 for the first time in 9 years this week out of the Sun Belt. 2-2. Again, pop fly, shallow left field. Thompson calling for it on the grass, and the shortstop will have it for out number 2. So Marshak retired. And you mentioned that the Cajuns have improved here of late. They've won 11 of their last 15 games. And, you know, unfortunately for the Sun Belt, even though they'll have some teams enter and come and go in the top 25, basically, for the most part, it comes down to who wins the conference tournament. As the first pitch offered up to Rocafort, lifted in the air, deep down the line in left, and Stevenson straddles the foul line. It's a fair ball, and he holds on for out number 3. So good work by Ty Floyd. His defense backs him up as well, and the Cajuns go in order 1-2-3 here in the top of the first. Tigers coming to the plate for the first time tonight. Pearson, Cruz, and Berry atop the order when we return. No score after a half inning here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
This is the Powerade LPC heading for sitting section 207. Row 14, seat 20. You just won a case of Powerade. Congratulations.
Tiger fans, Our Lady of the Lake, proud to be LSU's championship healthcare partner. Together, LSU and Our Lady of the Lake will create transformational change and impact for Louisiana with a new standard for healthcare research and education. To learn more, go to olrmc.com/LSU. Scoreless after one, top of the second. Raging Cajuns to the plate. Leading things off for Louisiana-Lafayette will be Tyler Robertson. Junior batting .314 as Floyd sets him up with a breaking ball called strike. Here's the 0-1. Missing low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. We mentioned Jacob Berry flied out to right field to end it there in the bottom of the first inning, but his play at third base has really, I think, come a long way. The last 2 weekends he's played well defensively, as this one's fouled back into the screen. Another Rotolo's foul ball. Robertson falls behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Made some really tough plays and putouts at third, showing a little range to his left, charging in on the infield grass. The 1-2 misses high. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, Barry's certainly improved. He always looks the part over there. The action's not terrible. He's just kicked some balls and made some poor throws. They're trying to find him a spot, and they've settled on third base, and he's just got to continue to improve.
2-2, big swing, but right back into the screen behind the plate. Count holds 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Robertson got some hardware today. He was named the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week. Last week went 7 for 13. Got hits in all 3 of their games against ULM over the weekend.
Floyd, the 2-2, brings the fastball, popped up foul territory, right side of home plate. McManus near the on-deck circle in front of the first base dugout. Makes that look too easy for out number 1. So Robertson retired. We'll see the DH Trey LaFleur, a sophomore, who again is limited at bats this year. This will be his 7th at bat of the season, but I guess the average looks good. He's 3 of 6 for an even .500.
That'll get it done. Floyd looks good early on. He's throwing the fastball pretty well for strikes. A breaking ball we've seen a couple of times. Has pounded the strike zone against a ULL team that's not knocking the cover off the ball this year.
LaFleur, a left-hander, takes the first pitch on the outside corner. A called strike, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. There's the breaking pitch for a strike. Gets it over, and it's 0-2.
That's a difference maker right there. You just have to show it to keep them honest. And Ty wasn't able to do that enough early on. That's just a get-me-over pitch. They weren't looking for it. Greatly executed.
Here's a high fastball. Swing and a miss. LaFleur down on strikes.
And you see the swing you get after you throw that breaking ball in there for strike 2, and then you change the eye level with that fastball up. That's always been a plus pitch for Ty, but it's even better when you snapped off a breaking ball right in front of it, and LaFleur had no chance there, strike 3.
That'll bring up Jonathan Brandon. Hails from Bossier City, right-hander. There's the other breaking ball, again right across the plate. Nothing Brandon wanted to do with that one. It's 0-1.
Bossier City, that's the wrong side of the river for a Shreveport boy.
And the 0-1. This is low and away, making 1 ball, 1 strike. One delivery. Outside corner. That time Brandon leaned in, gave it a look, but held the bat back. And he falls behind. Floyd getting ahead of hitters early in counts here. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Did it go around? They'll appeal down to first. Christopher Simons, our first base umpire, says no. That'll move it or keep it 2-2. Simons at first, Eddie Newsom second base, Luke Weems down the line at third, and Alex Ziegler behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Here's a bouncing ground ball to short on the high hop. Thompson handles, throws to first in time for out number 3. Another inning, quick work for Ty Floyd and the Tiger defense. 3 up, 3 down again for the Cajuns. Scoreless after an inning and a half. LSU coming to the plate. Doty, Morgan, and Thompson when we return on the LSU Sports Radio Network. No score. Doty followed by Morgan, and Jordan Thompson due up. Rawls delivers. He's got a breaking pitch. Gets it over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Doty coming off a weekend where he went 2 for 11. Looking to get back moving offensively at the plate. Gets his first chance tonight. The 0-1. Ground ball towards short. Scooped up by DeBarge, and an off-balance throw, but he puts it right in the mid of C.J. Willis. Doty retired on the 6-3 ground out, 1 away.
Yeah, ULL was in the shift there. DeBarge playing a little bit in the hole, and Doty rolled over it. Easy play, moving to his left, scoops it up, fires across, and quickly 1 away. Not a lot of hard contact early in this game. 2 pitchers and a little bit of command.
Interesting move tonight. Coach Jay Johnson moving Morgan down in the lineup, typically a top, or we've seen him at cleanup. We've seen him in the 2 spot. Bat 5th tonight behind Doty. First pitch from Rawls misses for ball 1, 1-0.
Trey had that big brace on over the weekend. I can't tell if he's got one on under the pants tonight, but nothing over the top like this weekend.
The 1-0 sails outside. Down in the Tiger dugout before the game, he had one of those soft braces on during BP, and whether or not he has something under, we're not sure, but he did take that off after batting practice, so that's certainly a sign of encouragement as this one's lifted in the air to left center field. Trailing back, Marshak at the wall will make a leap, and he held on, took it right over the top of the wall in left center field. Wait a minute, now they're going to change the call. Now he says it got over and hit the yellow line. So Morgan will get the solo home run, and the Tigers will take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that ball was hit way up in the air. There's a little bit of breeze pushing it to the left center field gap. Marshak made an incredible effort and went all the way up the wall. And from this vantage point, we have no idea if he caught it or not. He didn't really react. And when you said caught, I put my hands up like that's one of the best catches I've ever seen. But it obviously snuck just over the hand into the front row of the left field landing over there for Morgan's second opposite field home run in the last couple of weeks.
It appeared Eddie Newsom, the second base umpire, was a little late going out there. And again, typically they'll make the call, give you the roundabout signal, and he just had his hand up in the air. And I think maybe he was determining whether or not, after Marshak came crashing down to the track, whether he had the baseball. And then, again, based on the body language of Marshak, and once he got up, it was ruled just over the fence. So Trey Morgan with the home run, and LSU takes a 1-0 lead. Jordan Thompson will stand in. Morgan with his 3rd round tripper of the year. The 0-1 misses outside. Again, there was also a delay in the crowd realizing that it was a home run, but they're certainly glad to see it. Pitch to Thompson. He stays away from the breaking ball that tails away from the right-hander. Good eye by Jordan. 2-1. Thompson trying to get out of some struggles at the plate. The last 2 weekends in SEC play have not been kind to him. Again, last weekend, 1 for 10. This one popped up on the infield grass. In fact, right in front of home plate, calling for it. Coming in, the 3rd baseman, Tyler Robertson. As Julian Brock, the catcher, initially got set to look up, but coming in, Robertson had a better bead. Makes the call and makes the catch for out number 2.
It's good communication there by the Cajuns. Brock tossed the mask and was looking up. He was camped out and likely makes the catch, but it was up there long enough, and Robertson came in from his spot at 3rd base and made the easier play. So that's the second out.
So time called. Brock going to go out and visit with Rawls very quickly. So they'll face Braden Jobert, another Tiger that's trying to get back to where he was. Really hit the ball well at Mississippi State, but they had the shift on, as they do again here, the Cajuns, and he hit right into the shift time and time again. Struggled at the plate against Arkansas this past weekend. First delivery from Rawls misses low. It's ball 1 with an off-speed delivery. They've got DeBarge playing right of second base. Brandon playing maybe 8 to 10 feet in shallow right field, the second baseman. C.J. Willis behind the bag and near the line at first. The 1-0 off speed, swing and a miss. Braden out in front of that one.
You mentioned Jobert struggling, just 1 for his last 19. Just trying to work his way through his first college season. He carried LSU in Gainesville for that 3-game set, was just swinging a red-hot bat, but cooled off of late. You figure there's another hot surge coming here eventually.
Rawls looks in with 2 down, the 1-1. Fastball misses outside. 2-1 now to Joe Bear. And of course, Joe Bear, part of that controversy on Saturday in a 1-0 ball game. Talking to Coach Johnson last night. Here's the 2-1. That one misses low, make it 3-1. Again, the initial sign in Fayetteville was that Jeff Head, the third base umpire, looked at his watch and then called strike 3. But as it turned out, it wasn't he evaded the pitch clock down to 5 seconds, which is part of the rule. It was that he had both feet out of the batter's box, and there's only about 9 situations where that is allowed. Breaking ball in for a strike to make it 3-2. Now you can argue whether or not that point of the game, LSU on the road leading by 1 with 2 men on and 2 out, is the time to invoke that rule. But
it's not. I'll argue that right now. It's not.
But I do know that the home plate umpire, that's the second that I know of he's called this year. Payoff misses outside, and a 2-out walk will send Joe Bear down to first. That one I found out once arriving back in Baton Rouge. It was called in a Florida series a couple of weeks back, which you don't see it very often.
Look, I'm all for enforcing the rules, and I think it's important that we try to move the pace of the game along at times, but there's got to be a level of judgment when you're an umpire there, and in that spot of a conference game, not the time to make that call. You want to do it in February in a Tuesday night game between 2 non-conference teams to send a message to the kid for the rest of the year, I'll get on board and we'll get on with it. In a 1-run conference game, that ain't it.
Tyler McManus stands up, a right-handed hitter, getting the start behind the plate catching tonight. First pitch from Rawls misses high, 1-0. I think Big Ben McDonald maybe had the best response on Twitter. So what are we doing here? Trying to make a 3-hour, 14-minute game a 3-hour, 11-minute game?
It's just an umpire feeling important, and that happens in a lot of sports.
Well, it happened a lot across the SEC this weekend. This one sails outside. Good job by Julian Brock to slide to his right to keep it in the mid. 2-0 the count now to McManus. McManus with a couple at bats. He went 0 for 5 in Arkansas. Started 2 of the games behind the plate. And before the next pitch, we're going to get a time called here. A little visit from the Ragin' Cajun dugout. I believe that's Seth Thibodeau, the pitching coach, going to go out and check on Rawls as the Cajuns have sent some personnel down to the bullpen left field way. Nobody tossing yet, but it looks like they're getting the equipment ready, and we'll start to soft toss here.
You mentioned some big calls being made around the SEC this weekend, and one of those is that Tony Vitello got ejected and then blew a gasket and ended up bumping into the umpire pretty forcefully. And I'm usually the last person to come to the defense of an official in any sport. In that instance, we can't be doing that. And so Tony got a 4-game suspension. He can grab a cabin in the Smoky Mountains somewhere. He gets the week off. And they'll see him next week. That's just that's a little bit over the line there, coach.
Yeah, he was already pretty hot when he came out. They'd already tossed the pitching coach. And this all happened in the first inning. 2 outs and that meeting over with. Rawls will continue, but there is a left-hander up now and soft tossing down in the bullpen. With 2 outs and a runner on, the pitch to McManus. A called strike, and it's 2-1.
McManus gets the nod tonight, and I got to think there's an element of defense to that. You realize there's going to be some bunts out there, likely that ULL is going to try to steal a little bit. McManus, probably a more advanced defensive catcher than Travinsky. Both guys have shown some power this year and have done some things with the bat, but I think McManus is back there to play defense tonight.
2-1 delivery. Breaking ball drops in low and outside. Now we'll make it 3-1.
Got a guy without overpowering stuff and a 3-1 count. Got to think that McManus is going to get one to hit here. Needs to not miss it.
Joe Bear on a walk with 2 outs is at first. The 3-1 way outside. Rawls upset with himself, but easily ball 4. And so with 2 outs, 2 base on balls back to back, have LSU with runners first and second. Trey Morgan got the Tigers on the board with his 3rd home run of the year, a solo variety over the left center field wall here in the bottom of the 2nd. It's a 1-0 ball game.
That pitch right there, 3-1, tells me that the Rawls really doesn't have his command right now. To make a pitch that far out of the strike zone, 3-1 means you're just not feeling your release point. So Stevenson should be aware of that as he digs in.
So Josh, the left-handed freshman, stands in. Rawls, the right-hander, to the plate. Big swing and just missed it, sends it into the screen. And it is 0-1. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Back inside the Caesars Sportsbook broadcast booth, the Tigers leading 1-0. Runners first and second. Stevenson reaches out with a bat. One hopper to second. Brandon fields it, throws to first. That'll do it for LSU. However, they get one run on one hit. It was Trey Morgan going yard. 1-0 LSU leads. Top of the third coming up on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Fans just like the winning lineup. Cintas has the all-star services for all your business needs. Everything from uniforms to kitchens and restroom solutions. Get ready for the workday with Cintas. Connor Kimple, the left fielder, leads things off for the Raging Cajuns, and he'll take the first pitch high into the air to left field. Stevenson at the wall, and this one will find its way into the left field landing, and we are tied 1-1 as Kimple, in the 7 spot, picks up his 6th home run of the year. Cajuns answer with a solo home run of their own. 1 run on 1 hit right out of the gate here in the top of the 3rd inning.
That's the first pitch fastball up above the belt, closer to the letters, and Kimple just got the barrel to it and hit it way up in the air like Morgan did, and the wind is blowing out to left field. There may be a little bit of a jet stream out there. Stevenson kept gliding back, kept gliding back, kept gliding back, and he ran out of room. That was a couple of rows up.
Julian Brock now will stand in. Floyd fires, and the off-speed delivery misses high. Brock, the catcher, batting .241. Six doubles, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Fastball high and outside, make it 2-0. Floyd looks in, now the wind and the 2-0. Fastball again up in the zone, but that time Brook could not get a bat on it, and it's 2-1.
Shade Brock to the other way in the outfield. A lot of room to the pull side down the line.
2-1. Swing and a miss. Another fastball. That one down and away. 2-2. As Garrett Edwards now will head down towards the right field bullpen for LSU. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on. A 1-1 ball game. A 2-2. Heater misses high. That'll fill it up 3-2.
Big pitch here for Floyd. Want to go get the 8-hole hitter here in Brock. Don't want to had that lineup turned over here shortly with guys on base.
Payoff delivery. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Brock had flipped the bat, was headed down to first, thought it was ball 4. Home plate umpire Alex Ziegler saw it differently. And Floyd records his second punch out. Another strikeout brought to you by Super One Foods. Great quality at super low prices. And after giving up the solo home run, Ty Floyd comes back, shows some grit, records the strikeout 1 away. Now we'll see C.J. Willis, the former LSU Tiger. First delivery to the left-handed hitter is the breaking ball that misses a little high. 1-0 the count. C.J. Willis, of course, played his freshman campaign in 2019 here in Baton Rouge. Hails from Ruston, Louisiana. Off the end of the bat, fouled back and out of play. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It was part of a signing class of Drew Bianco, Gavin Dugas, Giovanni DiGiacomo, Landon Marceau, Cole Henry, Cade Beloso. All those guys came in the same class as CJ. He was a very highly thought of player, was injured when he got here.
The 1-1. Off speed, misses inside. That'll make it 2-1.
Had a huge moment and a big RBI double in Starkville to help him win a game back in 2019, but never quite found his way, but it's found a home in Lafayette.
2-1 from Floyd. Ground ball. Bouncer to Doty at second. Goes to a knee, fields it, throws to first, and 2 gone on the 4-3 ground out. So now back to the top of the order, Kyle DeBarge.
At the plate for the Cajuns, shortstop, Kyle DeBarge.
So again by design, as Garrett Edwards yet to get a catcher down in the bullpen. More than likely, if Floyd can find his way out of this, get back in the dugout, we'll see him possibly in the top of the 4th inning. With 2 outs, showing bunt and a strike down the middle. That'll make it 0-1.
That was the breaking ball from Floyd, and if he can get this out, that's really an encouraging outing. He got ambushed with a first pitch fastball, and 1 guy took him out. But other than that, he's retired the rest of the Cajuns.
The 0-1. Called strike of the knees. Another bender, and it's 0-2.
You don't want to make too much of things. It's a midweek game, but him being able to execute those pitches is just a progression from where we were early in the season.
The 0-2 pitch comes back with a fastball off the plate at 93, swing and a miss. And DeBarge down on strikes, and that'll do it for Louisiana Lafayette. However, they tie the game. 1 swing of the bat, 1 run on 1 hit, solo home run to left. We got a 1-1 ball game. Bottom of the 3rd, Tigers coming to the plate. Top of the order, Pearson, Cruz, and Berry when we return on the LSU Sports Radio Network. One our score. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Alec Box Stadium. Louisiana Lafayette making a change on the mound. Brandon Talley will now take over, a senior out of Princeton, Texas. Left-hander going to face top of the order for LSU coming up. Pearson, Cruz, and Berry. Both teams with a solo home run. 1-1 here in the Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic on a Tuesday night.
Mentioned Talley, the left-hander, making his 13th appearance. He has 6 starts on the season. He has got a 3.14 ERA and 43 innings of work. He has allowed 38 hits, 19 runs, 15 of them earned. He has walked 19 and struck out 42.
Pearson stands in. 0 for 1 on the night. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch, and a one bouncer right of second base, going to be fielded nicely by Kyle DeBarge. Just not hit hard enough to get by the shortstop for the Ragin' Cajuns. Off the bat, looked perfectly placed, Hunt. But again, just kind of flared, took a bounce. DeBarge got to it, made a great throw to first in time.
It just wasn't hit very well. It was to the first base side of second. DeBarge had to go a long way to his left to grab it on a hop, and he made the transfer very quickly. Smooth throw over to first. You can't do it any better than DeBarge did, and that erases a leadoff base running threat for LSU.
Dylan Cruz 0 for 1 tonight. Bats for the second time. Took one deep to center field. Fly ball out to Marshak. First pitch missing low, 1-0. Talley started his career at Grayson Community College before landing in Lafayette. Here's a swing and a foul ball off the end of the bat. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Cruz.
ULL has traditionally dipped into that talent pool in the Texas Junior College. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot of really good players that have found their way to a proud baseball program in Louisiana Lafayette. We've seen a couple of arms from the junior college ranks tonight.
1-1 to Cruz. Misses low from Talley. Make it 2-1. Cajuns instituting a defensive shift here to the left side of the infield. Cruz, of course, no stranger to going opposite field, not only to right field, but into the seats as well. He's got opposite field power. It takes a big swing there, sends it back into the screen behind the plate, and it's 2-2 on the fastball offering from Talley. Fans, if you want a little fun, then play Sapphire Sevens from the lottery. You could win up to $20,000. Stop in at any lottery retailer, pick up Sapphire Sevens today. Must be at least 21 to purchase. Get your shine on. 1 out, a 2-2 count to Cruz. The pitch from Talley inside, and Dylan has to do a little dance, stay out of the way. Fills the count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, there's a little jump rope action there from Dylan. That ball was headed right for the ankle. Made it over the top of it. Lives to swing again.
Ready's the bat. Talley, the payoff pitch. Off speed, bouncer, and handling it is Brandon. Second baseman. Throw a little behind the bag, but keeping his foot on is C.J. Willis for out number 2. So again, shift works this time for the Cajuns. 2 gone, and we'll see Jacob Berry.
Yeah, you can see on that throw why Brandon's the second baseman. Not the strongest arm on the infield. Cruz was hustling and made it a close play there at first base. C.J. Willis, the first baseman for the Cajuns, keeping the foot on the bag, and quickly 2 out here for the Tigers.
So Berry now will shift, switch hitter. He'll bat from the right side against the left-handed throwing Talley. And again, the Cajuns will shift the defense, keep them 3 infielders left of second base. First delivery from Talley drops in low, 1-0. This inning brought to you by AccuTemp Services. Don't let AC or heater outages keep you on the bench this year. Fans text home run to 31996. 1-0. On the outside corner, a little fastball there from Talley makes it 1-1.
AccuTemp visited the Palmer house today.
Oh, yeah?
A little AC maintenance checkup. Everything's looking good. We're ready for it to be 100, which will be any day now.
Here's the 1-1. Tapper left of the mound, picked up by Talley. Left-hander throws to first, and LSU goes quietly here in the bottom of the 3rd. No runs, no hits, nobody reaches base. We go to the top of the 4th, tied at 1 run apiece. We'll return to Alec Box after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Center fielder, Max Marshall.
Well, once again proving why I am in the broadcast booth and not in the dugout, Ty Floyd will come in, stay on the mound for the top of the 4th inning. Max Marshak, the center fielder out of Amarillo, Texas, will bat for the 2nd time tonight. Facing Floyd. And the first delivery is the curveball. Looks good still. Over the plate for a strike, 0-1.
That was Floyd's 41st pitch. We know that Jay Johnson's magic number for back-to-back days is 30. Obviously, LSU doesn't play tomorrow, but they do play on Thursday. This is Floyd's game right now, though.
The 0-1. Breaking pitch missing outside. Marshak able to pick up the spin early, stays away, 1-1. One pitch. There's the curve for a strike. 1-2. So starts Marshak off with 3 breaking pitches, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barry was playing in at 3rd. Now he'll step back even with the bag with the 2nd strike. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball inside. Marshak down on strikes. Ty Floyd records his 3rd punch out, 1 away. Strikeout brought to you by Super One Foods. Great quality at super low prices.
This is just a different Ty Floyd, to be quite honest with you. That is 2 batters in a row and 2 of the better hitters in this Cajun lineup that he is set up with breaking balls early in the count and then finished with the fastball. We know that fastball is a clutch pitch. It just doesn't play as well when they don't think you can throw a breaking ball. He's proven tonight that he can.
Roccaforte flied out to left field to Stevenson his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And again, the off speed across for a strike. It's 0-1.
He's thrown more breaking balls tonight than he had in any appearance all year. I don't think that's hyperbole at all.
No, I don't think it's close. The 0-1. Again lifted in the air to left field. Stevenson going back. Stevenson on the track, takes a leap, and it is gone. Wow. Over the fence again, finding that wind, which had slowed a little bit, but still the flag's moving right to left. Stevenson went straight up and just over the fence into the seats. And now Louisiana-Lafayette leading 2-1.
That's 3 home runs now that have crept over the wall in left field. Morgan's for LSU and then 2 for the Cajuns. I don't know that any of them were hit really, really well, but there is some wind that is blowing out to left field. All 3 times, the left fielder has drifted and drifted and drifted and just ran out of room where you thought maybe they had a chance to squeeze it before the warning track. Just a good night to hit the ball out into left field. And disappointing result there from Ty Floyd as he got the out quickly there to start the inning, but gives up the big fly to the best hitter in the Cajun lineup in Roccaforte.
3 hits combined for these 2 teams, all 3 home runs, and as Hunt mentioned, none of the 3 no doubters. There was plenty of doubt in all 3 that have made it over the fence. Quick meeting. McManus goes out, visits with Floyd, but again now action begins in the bullpen for LSU. They got double barrel action going. A couple of right-handers again just getting loosened up. That'll bring up Tyler Robertson, Montgomery, Alabama native. Right-handers. Floyd brings the breaking ball and just getting a piece of it for a foul is Robertson. It's 0-1.
Yeah, a piece of McManus as well. Foul tip caught him somewhere. That's why they call them the tools of ignorance, Chris. You don't want to be back there. It's a little bit painful.
Again, Barry playing just off the infield cut at 3rd. No indication of a bunt just yet. This one a fastball high and tight, and it's 1-1.
Tonight, just an example, the box plays a little different once the calendar turns to the middle of April and into May. Those cold nights in February and March, the ball kind of dies. Tonight, it's carrying out.
Another foul at the plate. Again, McManus may have gotten a piece of that baseball on him for the 2nd time. And it's 1-2 now to Robertson. Garrett Edwards is again up throwing in the bullpen for LSU. Another right-hander, I believe, Bryce Collins. He doesn't have his pullover off as of yet, but I see the white shades. White glasses, rather. The 1-2. There's the fastball right by him. Swing and a miss. 4th strikeout on the night. And for the 2nd time, after giving up a solo home run, Floyd battles back and records a punch out. Another one brought to you by Super One Foods. Great quality at super low prices. So 2 gone here in the top of the 4th inning. Tigers find themselves trailing the Raging Cajuns 2-1. Trey LaFleur, the DH, a left-hander, takes the first pitch, a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Love to get the chart on the breaking balls for strikes tonight.
That's 5 or 6 of them for sure. It's been really impressive to watch.
The 0-1 misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And to be honest with you, those that have made it across the plate, there's been just a handful that missed badly, some of which he was trying to get them to chase. The 1-1 goes back to the heater, a swing and a miss by LaFleur. It's 1-2.
He's 3 feet on 1 home run and 6 feet on the other home run from having a sparkling 4 innings of work here, but that's not how it works.
2 outs, the 1-2 misses upstairs. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Down the middle for a strike 3. Fastball. That time LaFleur no offer. 5th strikeout of the night for Ty Floyd, and the Tigers head to the dugout. However, 1 more run added by the Raging Cajuns. A solo home run. 1 run on 1 hit. They have a 2-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Back after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Brian Talley back out for his 2nd inning of work in relief for the Raging Cajuns. Cade Jody batting for the 2nd time tonight. The first pitch fastball misses outside. 1-0. 2-1. Louisiana-Lafayette with the lead. 1-0 pitch. Hit like a rocket to left field, and this one's going to play off the wall. Kimple could do nothing but watch it bounce off. And Cade Jody quickly able to stand up double to get things started here for LSU in the top of the 4th inning. It's Doty, impressive, his 16th double of the year.
That was a missile. You see the replay here in the booth, just a fastball that caught way too much plate, 1-0, and Doty punished it, hit the wall on the fly, and kind of got by the left fielder Kimple off the ricochet, so an easy leadoff double for Doty. He represents the tying run out there at 2nd base.
Tigers trying to improve their performance at the plate with runners in scoring position. Struggled in Saturday's Game 3 loss at Arkansas. Had plenty of opportunities. First delivery to Morgan. Breaking ball misses low, 1-0.
You mentioned that. LSU was just really, really poor with runners in scoring position all weekend against Arkansas, especially in the last 2 games. And over the last 2 games, 2 for 19 with 8 strikeouts with runners in scoring position.
Doty with a short lead off of 2nd. Talley to the plate. And there's a strike at the knees. Morgan thought it was a little low, and it evens the count 1-1. Yeah, they led 1-0 early there in game 3, but in the top of the first had bases loaded. Could not get anybody in. The double play ended it. They would end up taking the 1-0 lead in the top of the second, but not enough on the road against SEC competition. 1-1. This one a chopper in front of the plate. Goes towards Brandon at second base. He'll take it on a high hop. Throw to first his only play. Doty quickly over to third. And with one out, the Tigers have the potential tying run just 90 feet away. And coming to the plate will be Jordan Thompson.
Trey did his job there. He'd like to drive the run in, and Coach Johnson gave him the opportunity. Certainly didn't give him up with a sacrifice bunt, but that ball's got to be pulled on the ground, and it was. So you were taking care of yourself, but you get a runner over to third base. Chance for Thompson to tie the game up here.
So Thompson will stand in. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Trying to get back to a more consistent hitter at the plate. Certainly a big part of last year's run to the Super Regionals. There's a first pitch called strike on the inside corner, 0-1.
Cajuns will play the corners, even with the bags. Anything sharply hit towards them, they'll probably come home, depending on what Cade Doty does. The middle is pretty much back. The shortstop, DeBarge, is a couple of steps in.
The 0-1 fastball misses high from Talley. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Maybe a one-hop rocket right at DeBarge. He'll look at the runner and try to come home. If he's got to move one way or the other, probably just going to try to get the out of Thompson at first base.
1-1 the count, 1 down. Runner at third. Tigers trailing 2-1. The 1-1 to Thompson. Breaking ball. Did he go around? They'll say he did. They appeal down to Christopher Simons, and it's now 1-2 the count to Thompson.
It's where Thompson's got to totally shift the tone of his at bat. He's got to put the ball in play. You get something up and you can get it into the outfield, that's good, but now the infield creeps in with 2 strikes for the Cajuns, so got some room.
Talley from the stretch. The 1-2 hit high in the air to left field. This one is roped. Kimple will just watch it, and it is again off the wall. Hit off the top. Comes back into play, but it's a home run. 2-run blast for Jordan Thompson, and the Tigers regain the lead. Make it 3-2 as Thompson absolutely crushed that one. Almost had so much spin on it, it was dropping down, but just above the yellow line. Picks up his 4th home run of the year.
I think that one caught the chain link fence right above the outfield wall. It did. That was just an awful, awful 1-2 pitch up in the zone. Thompson just got a great swing on it, hooked it into left field and up into the bleachers to give the Tigers a lead.
So now 5 runs combined, and all 5 runs between both teams coming from the long ball. Just above the fences. 0-1 the count to Braden Jobert. Tigers now 3 runs on 3 hits. The 0-1 to Jobert. Misses outside with the breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Maybe that'll kickstart Jordan Thompson offensively. Looking like a 2-strike at bat, trying to stay alive, and you just get a gift. Ball way up in the zone that you can hammer out into the jet stream, and maybe Jordan will kick it into high gear offensively.
1-1 to Jobert. Misses inside, trying to catch the corner with a fastball, but Talley misses. 2-1.
Speaking of kicking it into high gear, I wouldn't mind guy wearing number 6 in the batter's box right now doing that. We know how hot he's gotten at times this year to start the season, what he did in Gainesville, but on the skids right now, 1 for his last 19.
2-1. Breaking pitch this time catches the inside corner. It's 2-2. Jobert has struggled with pitchers bringing it inside, in on the hands. Mississippi State did it. Arkansas did it. Talley trying to replicate that here. See what he offers with the 2-2. This time a ground ball going to be bounced to second base, but Brandon, who was playing shallow in right field, mishandles it, gets away from him, and Jobert will arrive safely at first. They had the shift on. It was hit right to Brandon. Had to move just slightly, but may have taken his eye off of it, checking on Jobert, and just could not glove it.
Yeah, it had the shift on, and he was a few steps out into the outfield grass. Breaking ball there. Jobert rolled over the top of it. Didn't hit it very hard, but I think it potentially Brandon thought he had to get rid of it pretty quickly. He doesn't have the strongest arm, and he's playing deep into the outfield. Just didn't field it. Just a gift there for Jobert, who will take any on base he can get at this point.
Tyler McManus stands in. Again, just one out, runner on. LSU now leading 3-2. Talley fires. McManus fouls it out of play right side. Another Rotolo's foul ball. And it's 0-1. Fans get low rate long-term financing right now on powerful Kubota tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Just visit LSUKubotaDealers.com for your nearest Kubota dealer and test drive a Kubota today. Jobert, short lead off of first. The 0-1 to the plate, way outside. Evens it up now to McManus. 1 ball, 1 strike.
McManus is one of the more impressive hitters in the fall scrimmages for this Tiger team. Just pumping the ball into the bleachers to the pull side and the opposite side. Hasn't quite found that power stroke with consistency because the bats have been tough to come by, but he's got a lot of pop in that bat.
The 1-1 fastball misses low. 2-1.
Hit 9 home runs for Sanford last year. Slidell native.
Infield, middle infield playing double play depth here. No surprise. The 2-1 off the end of the bat again will find its way out of play. 2-2 to McManus. Sun making its way into the western sky as we get ready for sundown here in the capital city. 3-2 LSU leading Louisiana-Lafayette. Home runs have been the story so far tonight. Jobert with a lead off first. The 2-2 to McManus. Swing and a miss. Fastball just got by him. That'll record the second out as Talley with the punch out. And we'll see Josh Stevenson come to the plate. Stevenson 0 for 1 on the night.
Of course, Stevenson hails from the 337 over there in Acadiana. He and his brother Andrew played for St. Thomas More. Of course, Andrew now in the big leagues. And Josh starting what looks to be a very promising career here in Baton Rouge.
What's been impressive about Josh Stevenson has just been some of the times before he got into the starting lineup every day. He'd get some opportunities in pinch hit situations and just showed no fear on that stage. Again, that's no surprise to LSU fans, but really has impressed and eventually got him the starting role in left from Coach Jay Johnson and the staff. First pitch misses outside. It's 1-0.
That at bat he had on Thursday night in the 9th inning of a game LSU lost, but against Tiger, the closer, to sink down into your legs and rip a ball into the outfield for a hit against one of the better closers in the league was really, really impressive.
Late show of a bunt attempt, and he can't put a bat on it. Called strike. It's 1-1. Robertson just off the infield cut down at third. Again, they've got the slight defensive shift on here for Stevenson, the left-hander. The 1-1 looking to swing, and it misses outside with a breaking ball. 2-1.
Continuing a lineage of really good players from St. Thomas More to come to Baton Rouge. Of course, Andrew, I mentioned Mikey Matuk was a great one here from St. Thomas More. The Acadiana area has been very, very kind to LSU over the years.
2 outs, a runner at first. Talley, the 2-1. Just missed the inside corner. Again, using the fastball, but gives Stevenson a hitter count now, 3-1.
I noticed no action in the LSU bullpen. They're probably going to let Ty Floyd go back out there for a 5th inning of work. I think they want to see if he can establish this breaking ball, this stuff, for 6-7 innings.
And now a throw over to keep an eye on Jobert, who was only off about a step and a half. He's back easily. Stevenson digs back in with a 3-1 count. Talley comes set, and the pitch misses high, ball 4. That'll put runners first and second now. And LSU no stranger this season to 2-out rallies. So with Josh Pearson, his freshman comrade, coming to the plate, top the order, looking for his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 2. Louisiana-Lafayette with another right-hander just now put the catcher down. He'll start to throw in the bullpen. One-run LSU lead, 3-2. Talley, the left-hander, comes set. The pitch to the plate. Breaking ball outside corner. It caught it. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Pearson's 0 for 2. He flew out pretty softly to left field and hit a ball up the middle that wasn't hit very hard. Ended up being a 6-3 putout. But I like the fact that he's gone the other way and seen it up the middle a couple times. You got young players. They want to get pull happy. They want to hit doubles. They want to hit home runs. He doesn't do that. He stayed through the ball twice tonight. Doesn't have anything to show for it, but I like the approach.
The 0-1. Another breaking pitch. This time letter high across the plate. Pearson falls behind 0-2. Doesn't please the Tiger fans on that ruling behind the plate.
Yeah, that one looked up.
Jobert at second. Stevenson on a walk at first. Pearson now having to battle down on the count 0-2. With 2 down, Talley brings it. Stays away. Breaking ball. Pearson had an idea, but wisely held back 1-2.
It's a good take there. Left on left. That slider's tough. It's breaking away from you, and Pearson started the bat but was able to hold off and lives to fight.
Should Pearson arrive safely, Dylan Cruz on deck for LSU. The 1-2. Gonna hit him. Oh boy. Came up and in. Pearson appears to be okay. A dangerous moment there as that one got loose from Talley, but that'll load the bases now, and the LSU crowd sensing some trouble for the Ragin' Cajuns. Gonna make some noise here as Dylan Cruz comes to the plate, but it looks like a change has been made. So the Ragin' Cajuns make a call to the bullpen. Pitching change powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Tigers lead by a run, 3-2. They've got the bases all juiced up, and Dylan Cruz coming to the plate. When we return, we'll tell you about the new Ragin' Cajun pitcher after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network. LSU leading over Louisiana Lafayette. They make a pitching change here as the Tigers load up the bases. Back-to-back walks that a hit batter, which again adds to the total for LSU as that number continues to climb. 76 now on the season for the Fighting Tigers, and they lead that category in the SEC by a large margin. Dylan Cruz will come in. Cajuns call upon Tommy Ray. Will take over on the mound in a tough spot here, although 2 outs are on the board here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cruz 0 for 2, due for something. First pitch Fastball across the plate at 92, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, Ray's got one of the better fastballs on this Cajun staff. It'll be 92 to 94. This is 11th appearance of the year, a 5.47 ERA. Has struck out 29 in 26 innings of work.
3-2 LSU leading here. The 0-1. Breaking ball outside. Sliding over again is Julian Brock to keep the runners at bay. First, second, and third. LSU with a 2-run homer by Jordan Thompson regained the lead here in the bottom of the fourth. After Louisiana Lafayette took a 2-1 lead after 3.5. 1-1 the count. Pitch to Cruz. Off-speed breaking ball missed just off the outside corner, and a good eye by Dylan Cruz to stay away. 2-1.
They'll shift Cruz, 3 infielders on the shortstop side of second base, leaving that right side wide open. Dylan could pump one through there to drive home a couple.
Joe Bear at third, Stevenson at second, Pearson at first. This pitch misses low. The fastball off the mark from Ray, and it's now a hitter's count. 3-1, danger zone now if you're the raging Cajun right-hander.
We'll see if he's got the guts to throw a fastball. I got a feeling a changeup's coming here. Just don't think you could throw Cruz a fastball here.
Ray, the pitch. Hit in the air, but foul down the line and right out of play. And it's 3-2.
Give Ray a bunch of credit. He wound up and found a little something extra there on that heater. It didn't register on the gun, but you could see it in the delivery. And he got it by Cruz's barrel. Just fouled it off down the right field side. Now the count's full, and the base runners will be moving.
Again, a lot of room right side of the infield. Runners take their lead. 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Base hit into right field. That'll bring in Joe Bear. Stevenson on his horse around third. He'll come in to score. And the Tigers add to their lead. Make it 5-2 LSU as into third goes Pearson, and Dylan Cruz delivers with the 2 RBI single. Cruz now RBI 39 and 40 on the year.
Look, there's a spot for analytics in this game, and you understand that they've got a lot of data. But to leave an entire side of the field vacated against one of the best hitters in the country just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Cruz gets a fastball right down the middle. All he had to do was put the bat on. He hit it pretty hard, but there's no one over there, and it just goes right into right field for a 2-run single, and LSU will sure take it.
Had this conversation last week about the defensive shifts in college baseball, and a number of LSU Tigers among many in the country who are great opposite field hitters. These young hitters coming in to the league now can really wield a bat. Dylan Cruz is one of those. He shows you just there to extend the lead 5-2 as Barry steps in again with 2 outs, runners on the corners, and a 1-0 count to Barry. The pitch. Fastball outside and high.
Cruz and Barry in the next 15 months are both going to get checks that have 2 commas in, and you just to give them a side of the field is a lot, in my opinion.
2-0 the count to Barry. And they'll move the shift to the right side of the diamond as Ray delivers a strike down the middle to make it 2-1. Already 2 more Cajuns up and throwing in the bullpen. Tigers have plated 4 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch to Barry. Outside, and once again Ray finds himself in a tough spot. 3-1 against a very good left-handed hitter.
Barry can kind of choose his poison here. He's a good enough hitter. If he wants to try to lift one into the seats in right field on a 3-1 count, he can do that. But he's once again got the entire left side of the field to work with if something's away and he wants to put the barrel on it.
The 3-1 way upstairs and outside. Ball 4. And once again LSU has the bases loaded. Pearson at third. Cruz now down to second. Barry on the walk moves to first base. And we'll see Cade Jody pick up the lumber and come to the plate here again with 2 outs. LSU 4 runs on 3 hits. 1 error committed by the Cajuns. And after having a 2-1 lead, they find themselves down by 3, 5-2.
Of course, Cade started all this about half an hour ago with the rocket off the wall in left field. Now Tigers have batted around.
So Jody, second at bat of the inning with the bases loaded. Tommy Ray looks in. The pitch. And it got a piece of it. They'll say it got him on the wrist. Pitch was inside, and that'll bring in a run. Pearson will step on home plate. And it's now 6-2 Fighting Tigers. Make that losing count here. 77th hit by pitch for LSU on the year.
It's one of those things, it's like fumbles in football where it's nice statistically that you've done it. I don't know that there's a ton behind it other than the guys have just been wild, but LSU not in a hurry to get out of the way, and certainly with the bases loaded, now you take it again.
So Trey Morgan will stand in. He's 1 for 2 on the night, again batting for the second time with the bases loaded. Ray misses outside with a fastball. 1-0. Cruz at third. Barry at second. Doty hit by pitch down at first. Still 2 outs. The 1-0. Misses high, ball 2. And both fastballs off the mark from Tommy Ray.
Wonder when Trey started doing that spin out move. I think that's been something that's gone on for a long time.
He looks comfortable with it.
He does.
Knows how to do it most of the time. In fact, probably 99% of the time. But with a 2-0 count, Tommy Ray's night is done. Cajuns out to make a change. Looks like they'll bring in the left-hander to face the left-handed hitting Trey Morgan. Pitching change powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Tigers now have plated 4 runs on 3 hits. They still have the bases loaded. We've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tigers up 6-2 on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Raging Cajuns had a 1-run lead, 2-1 coming into the bottom of the 4th inning, but the wheels have come off. A couple of walks hit by pitch. Tigers 5 runs on 3 hits. Been able to keep things going here with 2 outs in the inning. Again, one of the trademarks of Jay Johnson and his coaching, 2-strike hitting, 2-out hitting. LSU still with a chance to add to it here. A 2-0 count to Morgan with 2 outs and the bases loaded. And we'll see Dylan Toit come in, a left-hander for the Raging Cajuns. Two-0 pitch. Off speed, in for a strike, 2-1.
Toit is second on this Raging Cajun team in appearances. This is his 15th outing. ERA of 3.52. He has struck out 26 in 23 innings of work, giving up 10 runs, 9 of them earned.
2 outs and a 2-1 count. Pitch to Morgan. Sent back into the screen, foul. 2-2 the count. Toit going with the old school look, the high socks. Not stirrups, just the socks. A retro look for the left-hander on the mound. 2-2.
Came into a tough spot, down 2-0 in the count with the bases loaded. One of the best hitters in this LSU lineup in the box, but he's fought back and evened it. 2-2 now with 2 outs.
Cruz at third, Barry at second, Doty at first base for LSU. The 2-2. Big swing, but a foul above the third base dugout into the screen. Keeps the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tiger fans, remember StubHub, the easiest way to experience every Tiger game. Check the virtual view, score your seats, get your tickets delivered instantly. StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of LSU Athletics. StubHub, be there. So they'll re-rack it. 2-2 the count to Morgan. Toit comes set. The pitch. In on the hands. Little Blue flare. Foul territory right down the line at third. Going to be handled by Robertson. And that'll finally put an end to LSU. But now before they plate 5 runs on 3 hits. 1 error committed by the Raging Cajuns. Louisiana-Lafayette comes to the plate in the top of the 5th. They find themselves down 4 runs. 6-2 LSU out in front. We'll return after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Top of the 5th inning coming your way. 6-2 LSU leading Louisiana-Lafayette here in the 2022 Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic. Ty Floyd back out there to work going into the top of the 5th inning. This time the breaking pitch misses just outside to the right-handed hitter Jonathan Brandon, who leads things off for the Raging Cajuns. Brandon 0 for 1 on the night. Floyd so far very good as the fastball is fouled off into the screen, make it 1-1.
Floyd's been great. That's his 57th pitch of the outing. Thus far, 4 innings, 2 hits to both home runs. So 2 earned, but no walks, 6 strikeouts, and has landed that breaking ball consistently. He did have to sit a long time while his teammates gave him 5 runs. So we'll see how he handles the long break.
Well, there's the breaking ball over for a strike to get ahead 1-2, and that's really been the difference. And Coach Jay Johnson, when I asked him about the development of the breaking pitch for Ty Floyd, he just kind of had a grin on his face and said, well, Chris, you were there in Starkville. He only pitched an inning, but we like what we saw. So I got to believe when all is said and done, if this continues, he's going to be equally as excited. Now there's a warning to Ty Floyd on the pitch clock.
Well, LSU's looking for pitchers to eat up innings on the weekend because the starting staff is not going to do that more often than not. And Floyd, this is the best he's looked all year to me.
The 1-2 breaking pitch, cold, strike 3 on the inside corner. Absolutely buckled Brandon. I'm not sure the bat even got off the shoulder, because that one just perfectly placed for the 7th strikeout tonight for Ty Floyd. Another one brought to you by Super One Foods. Great quality at super low prices. That was a super pitching display. Connor Kimple again, the left fielder. He's 1 for 1 on the night, facing Floyd for a 2nd time. And there's the get me over curve, and it's 0-1.
He's throwing it almost every time now.
It's starting to look automatic. Infield playing straight up here with one down. Dylan Cruz shaded towards right center to the right-handed hitter. There's a strike again. The breaking pitch outside corner, and he jumps ahead 0-2.
Now, back in the third inning, he showed his ability to get ahead with that and then blow the fastball by a couple of guys. We'll see what he decides to do here with Kemple.
He looks in. Ty will wind. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Goes back to the breaking ball. Just had high for ball one.
Be curious to hear when we chat with Jay Johnson after the game on the post-game show what the plan was for Ty tonight. I'd imagine maybe 2 innings, but then all of a sudden you see that things are going in the right direction. You see, well, just how far can he stretch this thing out?
The 1-2. Swing and a foul tap. Nope, he missed it. But McManus will apply the tag and another strikeout. That is 8 tonight for Ty Floyd, who again just has the Raging Cajuns on their heels in the batter's box. 2 gone here in the top of the 5th.
That might be the best one he's thrown all night in terms of the breaking ball. We've seen him throw the get me over a lot for strike one, which is great. That one was buried in the other batter's box and had the look of that fastball and then dove away, and Kemple swung right over the top of it. That was an excellent pitch.
Catcher Julian Brock to the plate. First pitch lined into left. Going to drop down in front of Stevenson. That time he was able to get to the breaking pitch. And with 2 outs, gets aboard here. Just an excellent piece of hitting right there across the plate. Put the bat on it. Drives it to left field.
Finally, somebody came up there looking for that now that Ty's gone to it so often. And Brock got that get me over breaking ball and did not miss it. 8-hole hitter is aboard. Now C.J. Willis digs in.
Willis, the left-hander, played in 24 games here for the Fighting Tigers in his freshman campaign in 2019. We'll see if Floyd sets him up with a fastball, and he does. He just misses outside 1-0.
The fastball still got great life. That's 93 miles an hour as he creeps towards 60 pitches here. He's been very efficient. Again, just the 2 home runs and then the single there with 2 outs here in the Cajun 5th.
The 1-0 delivery. There's the breaking ball inside corner. Evens it up 1-1.
Who is this? Where did Ty Floyd go?
Yeah, we all couldn't be happier for Ty. Again, as Hunt mentioned in the outset of the broadcast, he got the start against Texas A&M, and he's kind of been missed out there on the bump, but certainly helping his cause tonight. Here's a comebacker, actually going to be picked up by Morgan. He and Floyd going for it. Morgan picks it up, then tries to get it to Ty at the bag, but beating it out to arrive safely. And now runners first and second as Willis used the speed to get there. A little confusion as to who would get it. Floyd did get out of the way of Morgan, but again, by the time the flip was made and Floyd arrived at first base, Willis was already through.
LSU did that about as well as you could. It was placed perfectly. It wasn't a miscommunication. Ty chased it as far as he could. When he knew he couldn't get it, he continued on to the bag. Morgan picked it up and tossed it to Floyd. It was just a little bit awkward, and Willis, who has pretty good speed from the left-handed batter's box, beat it out. Not a terrible infield play from LSU, just a lucky break for ULL that the ball was placed where it was.
Jay Johnson on his way out now will call the infield along with McManus to meet with Ty Floyd on the mound. 2 outs, 2 runners on. LSU up 6-2. And it appears down in the bullpen, Tigers do have a right-hander ready to go. It is Bryce Collins, although the meeting taking a little longer here on the mound as Alex Ziegler, the home plate umpire, going out trying to hurry it up. Maybe Jay Johnson just checking on Ty Floyd. Again, he has not made the indication to make a change as of yet, and it appears that he will not. How about a shot in the arm for Ty Floyd after that?
For sure. You got one more out to get to qualify for the win in a game where you have deserved that. You have done an excellent job. This is the best he has looked all year, no matter what the line score says. And he's got a chance to get one more out here against DeBarge, who he's thrown the ball well against tonight, and get in the dugout and feel really good about what you've done. Turn the ball over to the bullpen, but he's got to bear down and find his best stuff here to get the Cajun leadoff hitter.
So DeBarge stands in. Back to the top of the order for the Raging Cajuns. Runners first and second, 2 outs. Floyd's first delivery misses outside. McManus knocks it down. It got away from him, but just in front of home plate. 1-0 the count. DeBarge with a fly out and a strikeout, 1 of 8 tonight, recorded by Ty Floyd. Working from the stretch, he looks back to second. Now the 1-0 pitch. Hit a mile high, but foul down the line and left out of play. Able to jump on that heater, but couldn't line it out. It's a foul ball, 1-1.
I think if you're Ty, I mean, I'm sure Jay Johnson told him this, but this is your last guy. If he reaches, he's going to go to the bullpen. If you get him, you get in the dugout, and you turn it over to the bullpen. Job well done. So you empty the tank here. Everything you got.
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. Pitch from Floyd. Misses high and outside, just missed the corner. Registers 94 on the gun, but it's 2-1.
Looks like a good pitch, just missed off the outside corner. Good job by DeBarge not to chase it, but a quality pitch there from Floyd.
Floyd already matching his season high in strikeouts. He had 8 against Maine to start the season back on February 20th. Runners take their lead, first and second, a 2-1 count to DeBarge. The pitch, chopping ground ball towards shortstop. Thompson will glove, flip to Doty at second for out number 3. And Ty Floyd will head back to the dugout. 8 strikeouts on the night and keeps the Tigers out in front, 6-2. Again, no score for the Cajuns there in the top of the 5th inning. And we move to the bottom half of the 5th. LSU coming to the plate again with a 4-run lead, 6-2. On a Tuesday night at the box here on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Fan Super One Foods has super low prices on all your game day favorites. Up your grocery game and score big with Super One Foods. The Tigers scored big in the bottom of the 4th inning to take a 6-2 lead as we now battle in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dylan Toit continues on the mound for Louisiana-Lafayette. He was able to put out the fire there in the bottom of the 4th inning as Jordan Thompson, who had a 2-run homer, 2 of those 5 runs, will stand back in. Bobby Leday takes over at second base for the Ragin' Cajuns in a defensive change as the first delivery from Toit misses outside for ball 1. Toit ready to wind, the left-hander to the plate. That's a strike on the outside corner with the off-speed delivery, 1-1.
Nice crowd here tonight for the Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic, a lot of red as you would expect. Always is when the Cajuns come to the box.
The 1-1 delivery to Thompson. Down around the ankles, misses for ball 2.
Reminded of some big-time postseason games they've played on this field. Of course, the 2015 Super Regional here. Chris Shamber hit a walk-off home run in Game 1. Tigers won that one 2-0 to get to Omaha.
2-1 pitch to Thompson. Up the middle, and it's a base hit. Drops into center field, and Thompson now. How about this? 2 for 3 at the plate. Hunt, we called for him to get going offensively after a couple of weeks struggling, and so far he's delivered, including a 2-run homer and now a single to get things started in the bottom of the 5th inning. That will bring up to the plate Braden Jobert.
That was a good swing there from Thompson. Ball's out over the plate. Was a short, quick stroke and lined it into center field for a leadoff single, and the Tigers are back in business after batting around back in the 4th.
Jobert earned a walk his first at bat and then reached by error. This time, Raging Cajuns not putting on the shift for the first time against Jobert. Again, they'll have the middle infield for the most part. Shortstop DeBarge keeping an eye on second base with Thompson. LSU not a base stealing team, but Thompson certainly has the potential. 1-0 to Jobert. Misses high. 2 balls, no strikes. Thompson on the year, by the way, 1 for 2 in stolen bases. Talked about it a lot on the air, Hunt. You may have caught it during one of the early Jay Johnson show. Him talking about that stealing bases is part of the offense. But he said you're going to see it come in bunches. And it's going to be based on a little bit of research. Now, I look into that and say that means a pitcher that is susceptible to it. I guess the answer would be we haven't ran into any of those this season yet. But he said you'll see a steal, just haven't done it a lot yet. The 3-0 misses low to Jobert, and for the second time tonight he'll earn a base on balls, and with nobody out, LSU now again putting runners aboard first and second here.
Just this early into Jay Johnson's tenure, we don't have a lot of on-field reference to go to, but you do have what he says to go by. And basically what I've heard from him is he's not married to anything. If he's got guys that can do this, he's going to do that. If he has guys that can do that, he's going to do that. You got a bunch of guys that can steal, or you got a catcher behind home plate who has 15 home runs but can't throw it all, they're going to run a little bit. And so I think he understands this is the team he's got. They've got a lot of power and some home run bats. You don't need to run into some outs with Cruz and Berry and Morgan and Doty and those guys up there at the plate. And in terms of the way pitching goes, you're talking about a team that doesn't have dominant weekend starters. So we're going to try to piece this thing together with the bullpen and play matchups. And I think that's a really good quality to have in a coach, a guy that's adaptable to what he wants to do.
So the Raging Cajuns again will make another pitching change. Dylan Toit, his night is done. After putting 2 runners on and nobody out, they'll make another pitching change powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll tell you about the new pitcher for Louisiana-Lafayette when we come back. LSU leading 6-2. Back with more on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Back to action as Jake Hammond comes in. First pitch he offers to Tyler McManus on the mound for Louisiana-Lafayette. A bunt laid right down in front of the mound. McManus does his job as LSU advances the runners to second and third, just one out. Looking for more, leading 6-2 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. It was a good-looking bunt from McManus. Again, he wasn't trying to take it down the lines, just laid it right in front of the mound as Hammond had to come off quickly and make the only play he had, which was the first. So now Josh Stevenson will stand in. Raging Cajuns bring in Robertson, the third baseman, on the infield grass, as does C.J. Willis, the first baseman. Runners second and third. Off speed and a swing and a miss makes it 0-1 to Stevenson.
And out the middle infielders will come in as well, trailing in this game by 4 runs. Louisiana-Lafayette can't afford to have another one come through at this point in the game, so they're going to play everybody in, and that makes this game quick on the infield with Stevenson digging in.
Thompson and Joe Bear aboard. Thompson at third as the 0-1 comes in. To be a design pitch out there to get an idea. Stevenson was swinging and makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. Stevenson now looks back into the Tiger dugout, gets instructions from Coach Jay Johnson. So we'll see what he offers here. Again, as Hunt mentioned, infield playing just off the cut here. Trying to keep it a 6-2 ball game if they've got to play at the plate if he makes contact. The 1-1. Off speed, misses low. That'll make it 2-1 to Stevenson, who tonight again grounded out 4-3 in the second inning, earned a walk in the fourth inning. LSU plated 5 runs, and they were down 2-1 after 3.5. But got it going. Similar situation. Tigers threatening here with just 1 out. Now a turn and a throw to third by Hammond as Thompson easily steps back on the third base bag.
Thompson has good speed over there at third base, and you'd imagine with a 4-run lead you would be going on contact unless you just read that it's right at somebody. I think he'll be on the move, so Louisiana-Lafayette will be coming home at all 4 infield spots.
Hammond trying to keep him closer to the bag. Here's the 2-1 to Stevenson. Hit in the air, opposite field to left, giving chase is Kimple. Kimple going back near the track will make the grab, but Thompson easily tagging in from third will come in to score. And a sac fly RBI off the bat of freshman Josh Stevenson now makes it 7-2 LSU.
Nice at bat there by Stevenson. Obviously wasn't trying to do too much with it. Had a lot of field to work with the infield in. Got a ball out over the plate. Did not try to pull it onto the ground where he could hit it very weakly. Hit it the other way with some authority. Got it up into that jet stream. Really nice play on the run by Kimple to track it down. An easy tag for Thompson as Joe Bear retreats to second. And the Tigers added the lead to 7-2.
Yeah, with his momentum going towards the corner and left, he doesn't get a glove on that one. That spells disaster for Louisiana-Lafayette. As it turns out, LSU will pick up another run. Second out of the inning. First offering from Hammond to Pearson atop the order. Misses badly outside, 1-0.
Tigers offense has responded nicely. You needed to after a tough weekend up there in Fayetteville. They put together a lot of good at bats. They've hit the ball hard. They've hit the ball over the fence. They've imposed their will on ULL here early in the game.
The 1-0 to Pearson. Missing inside. Make it 2-0 with a fastball from Hammond. Pearson 0 for 2. A fly out to left field. Ground out 6-3 his last at bat in the third. Again, hit by a pitch to get aboard. That was what compounded the problem for Louisiana-Lafayette there in the bottom of the fourth inning. The 2-0. Swung on, a little flare, and it'll drop inside the third base line. In the corner to left. Coming around to score, LSU will bring in another run, make it 8-2, as just a little knock off the bat of Pearson.
Sometimes better to be lucky than good. Pearson got that one off the end of the bat, a total cue shot, but it was right down the line. It dropped just a few inches inside the bag there at third and rundled down into the bullpen. Easy for Joe Bear to come around and score. Pearson coasts into second base, and the Tigers continue to add to their lead.
So now 8 runs on 6 hits. As Jake Hammond, the relief pitcher, comes in, is not welcomed kindly. Now we'll see Dylan Cruz. Cruz with the opposite field single there in the fourth, driving in 2 runs. First pitch off speed inside at the letters, missing for ball 1, 1-0.
Color guy gets to make outlandish predictions, right? That's part of the job.
Sure.
He's going to hit this off the scoreboard.
Runner at second, and Pearson picked up an RBI to his tally as well. Here's a swing and a miss, and Dillon, not for a lack of trying there. It's 1-1.
As you shouldn't want to. Got one out over the plate and just swung through it.
Pearson with a leadoff second with 2 outs. The 1-1 to Cruz. Off speed and just didn't get what he wanted. Fouls it off, rolls to the backstop left of home plate, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was one to hit. That was a rolling breaking ball that didn't really do a lot. Kind of sat over the inner half, and Dillon just didn't put his best swing on it.
So now Hammond ahead in the count with 2 down. The 1-2 way outside. Fastball missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, they'll go with the shift here against Dylan Cruz. He was able to beat that to drive in 2 runs last time in the 4th inning. Two breaking ball, sharply hit ground ball, but at Leday, the second baseman, the throw is scooped up by Willis at first to get out number 3, but LSU adds to their lead. They add 2 more runs on 2 hits. They leave 1 man on. We go to the top of the 6th here at the box at the 2022 Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic, and the Fighting Tigers lead 8-2 over the Raging Cajuns. We'll be back after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Your Fighting Tigers of LSU so far tonight, 8 runs, getting it done on 6 hits. Louisiana-Lafayette 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. Raging Cajuns had the early lead in tonight's contest, 2-1 after 2.5. Make that 3.5 innings. LSU 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th. They've added 2 more in the bottom of the 5th. Cajuns come to the plate. Marshuk, the center fielder, stands in. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a fly out and a strikeout. First delivery, ground ball foul down the third base line. As Ty Floyd again, excellent job in the start tonight. He'll hand the baseball over to start the top of the 6th to Bryce Collins as Collins works, the right-hander. The 0-1. Another little bouncer foul down the third base line with an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2 now to Marshak.
The numbers on Bryce Collins before we close the book on Ty Floyd. This is Bryce Collins' 11th appearance of the season, all in relief. His ERA is 1.72. In 15 2/3 innings, he has allowed 12 hits, 5 runs, only 3 earned. He has walked 11 and struck out 18.
The 0-2, a little low. They'll appeal down to first. They'll say Marshak able to hold back. That'll move the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fans, TJ Ribs, the official barbecue restaurant of LSU Athletics. Great being out there last night for another Jay Johnson show. They've been proudly serving the greater Baton Rouge area their famous barbecue since 1986. TJ Ribs, the reason for ribs. Collins with a 1-2. Breaking ball off the end of the bat. Slow bouncer towards first. The in-between play. Morgan tries to flip to Collins. They'll say Marshak beat it out. Morgan looks surprised. Collins looks surprised. And I think they're lobbying to get Coach Jay Johnson to take a look at it. And he will make the call. Gives the headset call. That'll bring the umpiring crew in, and we'll have our first review of the night. Again, in real time, it was bang, bang.
He missed the bag. In real time, I thought he missed the bag, and I just saw the replay in full speed, and it looked like he missed the bag again. Another job, pretty good job of communication between Morgan and the pitcher. It was Floyd last inning and Collins that time. Morgan makes the play and makes the toss. I just don't think Collins got his right foot on the base.
If C.J. Willis, the first to get aboard in a similar play, again, plenty of speed down the line. Marshak, the center fielder, was hoofing it down the first base line. And again, love to see one more replay. Again, just watching in real time with the naked eye, it appeared it was a bang-bang play. But let's see again if Collins just missed the first base bag. Puts his foot down, both feet going for the bag. He got his toe on the bag and may have just beat Marshak.
You're correct. He got that front toe on the bag, and that is going to be an out.
I like your confidence on the replay.
I've never missed one, Chris.
Oh, I miss them all.
Well, I've never had one. I don't think I've ever had a replay up here, so I can just claim that I've never missed. It looks like he got the front foot on there. That should be the first out of the inning.
The Acme Oyster House official review still underway. And they're back communicating, taking a look at several angles. Again, that first base cam showing right on the bag showed Bryce get his toe and beat Marshak to the bag. Again, I don't think they'll need but that one angle to have the evidence to overturn this call. Again, on the field, it was ruled safe, which is key. Again, with nobody out, the leadoff man at the moment standing at first base.
Close the book on Ty Floyd while they're coming back out. He threw 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs that were both earned on home runs. He struck out 8, did not walk anybody, threw 71 pitches, 51 of them were strikes. I thought Ty Floyd was excellent tonight, throwing that breaking ball, getting the fastball by guys. I thought he did a great job. That was as good a Ty Floyd as we have seen all year long.
Yeah, I mean, again, he ties his season high 8 strikeouts. Did it against Maine, did it against Bethune-Cookman. Although Louisiana-Lafayette a different team, but the way Ty Floyd pitched tonight and got those 8 strikeouts was monumentally different than we saw in the first 2 outings earlier in the year.
Blowing 93-mile-an-hour fastballs by Maine is not the same as what we watched over the last couple hours here.
And still waiting.
I'm not wavering with my confidence, Chris. I'm telling you he's out. I don't care how long it takes. They will figure this out.
Again, I have been proven wrong time and time again, and every venue you can think of. Tiger Stadium, the Maravich Center, here at the box, and on the road. So
what they need is me to be the replay guy, because I had this figured out 5 minutes ago. Put the headset on. He's out. Back in play. This inning would be over if I was in charge.
See, what makes me nervous is the theory is the longer they wait, just like a jury, you think there's more doubt. And for you and I agree with you. It looked like it was pretty evident the ruling should be overturned. Now it appears they're coming out, and we'll get the call. And he is out.
1 for 1, baby. Can't get them all right unless you get the first one right, Chris.
I think you have a much better record than Doug Thompson or Buzzy Heidel.
Well, they had some accomplishments that actually mattered on the field.
So it records the out. after the Acme Oyster House official review, and that'll bring up Roccaforte, the left-hander, as Collins fires a strike in off speed. It's 0-1. Berry again playing in on the third base grass, just if Roccaforte, the left-hander, wanted to lay down a bunt. Here's a swing and a miss on another pulled string by Bryce Collins. It's 0-2. Now Berry will line up even with the third base bag. Haven't seen a lot of bunt attempts tonight. Not as many as we expected from the Raging Cajuns. Again with one out, Collins the 0-2. Ooh, the breaking ball just missed off the outside corner, make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Credit Roccaforte, able to pick it up early, stayed away. Collins, the 1-2. Down in the dirt, evens it up, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now, Collins has had kind of an unsung, really strong year because some of the innings that he's pitched and been very effective in, been in games that LSU has lost, and he was just asked to hold the rope till the end of the game and let the big guns rest. And he did a great job of that a couple times early in SEC play.
So with one out, the 2-2 to Roccaforte. And he got a piece, sent it back to the backstop. Keeps the count 2 balls, 2 strikes after another Rotolo's foul ball. The story this year, I mean, here's the understatement of the season. The bullpen for LSU, which again, Jay Johnson told us before the year was going to have to be strong. They were going to have to piece it together. And when you look at their victories in SEC play, it's been pivotal. The work by the bullpen as Collins again, 73, fools him. Way out in front is Roccaforte. He's down on strikes, 2 gone.
That's that breaking ball. It's Collins' moneymaker. The fastball is plenty good, 89, 90 miles an hour, but the breaking ball is a hammer. And that thing was 12-6, had a ton of break to it. And Roccaforte, who is the best hitter on this Cajun team, had no chance.
McManus picking it up just above the top of the plate with 2 down. Collins fires and misses low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. That strikeout for Bryce Collins, his first in relief tonight, brought to you by Super One Foods. Great quality at super low prices.
Looks like Devin Fontenot's getting loose down there in the Tiger pen.
The 1-0. Again, the breaking ball gets loose from McManus. Make it 2 balls, no strikes to Tyler Robertson. Popped up behind home plate, handled by McManus in his first at bat in the 2nd inning. It was a strikeout victim again, 1 of 8. Recorded by Ty Floyd tonight when Robertson batted in the 4th frame. The 2-0 pitch. Well, that one fastball got loose all the way to the backstop beyond McManus's mitt. It's 3-0.
Robertson came in swinging the hottest bat for this Cajun team. He was the Sun Belt Player of the Week last week. Was excellent in their series over the weekend, but just a pop-up foul to the catcher and a strikeout to show for it tonight.
3-0 pitch down the middle and fastball at the knees makes it 3-1. Again, as Hunt mentioned, good crowd out here on this Tuesday night. They're hanging with us as LSU leads 8-2 over Louisiana Lafayette. The 3-1 from Collins. Fastball misses low and away. That'll give up the 2-out walk to Robertson. Now we'll see Trey LaFleur, the DH. A couple of strikeouts on the ledger tonight. He's 0 for 2. So now he'll face Collins for the first time. LaFleur batting from the left side. Hails from Pensacola, Florida.
Not a bad place to be from.
Not at all. So the runner off of first, Robertson, and a swing and a miss by LaFleur. Again, that breaking ball just sinks down. It's 0-1. Riding back from Arkansas on the charter jet Saturday night. It was a late trip back. The 0-1 runner goes. McManus can't get the exchange from the mitt to the hand, and without a throw, Robertson goes in with the stolen base. That puts the Raging Cajuns now with a runner in scoring position. Robertson 14 of 15 stolen bases. Again, that one without a throw. But Bryce Collins was introduced, the West Coast kid, to the 2019 LSU football hype videos. His teammates say you have to see this.
Yeah.
And they went through one by one on the plane ride back. The 1-1 misses low, and now it's 2-1. That fastball.
I can just think about the one with Anthony McAdie's voice over it for the national championship game. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it.
That one was one of the highlights they went over with him. Robertson now with a leadoff second. Collins looks back. The 2-1. Breaking pitch just missed the inside corner. Collins thought he may have it. That'll move the count now to LaFleur to 3-1.
A lot of people say this never gets old, that never gets old. Talking about that team and remembering the run that was that 4 months will never get old for me. It was just magic.
It was great to be along for the ride, as Tiger fans will tell you, coast to coast and around the globe. The 3-1. There's a strike at the knees. That'll fill the count 3-2.
I'm looking at that intimidator out there in right field. There were 6 teams put on this uniform that had similar runs. Hopefully our next one's not too far away.
Collins will take a little trip around the mound, reset here with 2 outs, runner at second. LSU up 8-2 here in the top of the 6th inning. LaFleur again 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. He's worked the count full. Collins delivers, and there's the breaking ball, drops off the table, swing and a miss. Collins with the punch out. That'll do it for the Raging Cajuns here in the top half of the 6th. No runs. They do leave a man on base. Tigers, though, lead by 6 runs, 8-2. LSU coming to the plate in the bottom of the 6th after we return on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, your LSU Fighting Tigers leading 8-2 over Louisiana Lafayette. Jacob Berry will lead it off. Jack Hammond remains on the mound for the Raging Cajuns. Right-hander sets him up with a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 misses the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Berry again now facing the right-handed Hammond, batting from the left side. We've seen him swing from both sides of the plate tonight. Had a fly out to right in his first at bat, ground out back in the 3rd, earned a walk in his last at bat in the 4th inning. This one misses low, make it 2-1 now to Berry.
Get you some finals from around the SEC. Scoreboard update presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Kentucky falls to Louisville. In Louisville, Kentucky. Florida comes back and beats Stetson in Gainesville. Clemson topped Georgia 8-4. Tennessee a 9-3 winner over Bellarmine.
The breaking ball and a strike evens the count 2-2 to Jacob Berry.
And Mississippi State beats Jackson State 17-2 in Starkville, Mississippi.
And the Cajuns will institute the defensive shift. 3 infielders right of second base, including Leday playing in shallow right field as Berry fouls this fastball off. And it's still 2-2. Fans H&E Equipment Services, the official construction equipment partner of LSU Athletics. For all of your rental needs, call 877-700-RENT or visit herentals.com today. Berry leading it off here in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball lifted, but foul down the line and right. Still 2-2.
Berry stung that one, but just a little bit out in front of that ball that was up in the zone and hooked it down towards that LSU bullpen. Blake Money makes the play down there in the bullpen and makes somebody a happy camper with a souvenir.
Berry will step back in. Here's another 2-2 pitch, another breaking ball. This time he'll swing and foul it off the left side. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fans, when the Tigers win, you win. Enter promo code LSU50 the day after an LSU baseball victory, and you'll receive 50% off your online order at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. So stay with us tonight. See what happens with LSU up 8-2. Another 2-2 pitch. Jammed him. Popped up behind the plate, left side. Going back and reaching up and making the grab as Julian Brock almost got away from him, but he's able to glove it for out number 1.
Just a tough play. Brock shed the headgear and was tracking that thing. The wind was blowing it, and he just about overran it, but was able to glove it behind his head and make the first out of the inning.
So now Cade Doughty stands in with 1 away, and Cajuns will move from the right side of the diamond to the left side. We'll have Robertson playing near the third base bag to Barge pretty much straight up 6-hole. Bobby Leday just left of second base. First delivery and a big swing, lifted foul out of play right side. Moves the count 0-1. Doughty tonight ground out 5-3 in the second. Led off with a double in the 4th inning to get it started when the Tigers plated 5 runs. And then came up again in the 4th and was hit by a pitch. Hammond, the 0-1. There's a strike across the plate. Gets ahead of Doughty 0-2. Another Thursday, Friday, Saturday series here at the box. It'll get started 7 o'clock Thursday night. LSU hosting Mizzou, a team coming off a series victory over Kentucky. The 0-2. Hammered a breaking ball, but the bouncer's handled by DeBarge at short. He'll throw to Willis in time for out number 2. Missouri, a lot like, when you look at the numbers, completely coincidental. But coming in on paper, Louisiana-Lafayette, not a team that's going to overpower you with their batting average. Not going to overpower you with home runs, but they're an aggressive team. Find a way to get on base and then put pressure running between bases. Missouri, a lot like that when you look at their stat line. Trey Morgan stands in. He'll swing at the first pitch, a fastball, and it's fouled off into the screen. In fact, Missouri second behind LSU in hit by pitches. It's tied with Vanderbilt for second in the SEC in stolen bases. And they've struck out the fewest of all teams in the SEC as Morgan laces one high in the air to left center field. Marshuk settles over. He's got room. He'll make the play for out number 3. And the Tigers are done here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They still lead by 6 runs, 8-2. Louisiana-Lafayette coming up in the top of the 7th when we continue after this break on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Top of the 7th inning here at Alex Box Stadium. A very nice Tuesday evening. Perfect weather for the annual Wally Bonniff Jr. Classic. LSU leading 8-2 over Louisiana Lafayette. We'll see Devin Fontenot take over on the mound for the Fighting Tigers.
Fontenot, the senior right-hander, making his 14th appearance. His ERA is 3.78. He's thrown 16 2/3 innings, allowed 17 hits and 10 runs, just 7 of those earned. He has struck out 20 and walked 7. Closed the book on Bryce Collins. Tiger right-hander took the baton from Ty Floyd, pitched an inning, gave up 1 walk, struck out a pair, did not allow a hit or a run. He threw 21 pitches, 11 of them for strikes.
Fontenot good to go, gets his final warm-ups. Trey LaFleur will face him first, barring a pinch hitter.
Leading off the UL-Lafayette 7th inning, second baseman number 11.
Nope, it'll be Bobby Leday to lead it off. Who came in, was inserted at second base for the starter, Jonathan Brandon. So Leday will stand in to face Devin Fontenot. Leday out of Houston, Texas. Fontenot out of the Woodlands nearby. Houston. First pitch from Fontenot. Misses away with a breaking ball, and it's 1-0. Congratulations to Beth Torina. LSU softball make it 4 straight wins. Get the win over McNeese State earlier this evening, 7-1. They'll take that 4-game win streak back into SEC play. That breaking ball over for a strike. Even it up now to Leday. 1 ball, 1 strike. They'll go on the road, take on Georgia Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Another big SEC series.
Softball's become what baseball's been for a while now. They're all good. Everybody's good in this league.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase that one down in the zone. Gets ahead of Leday. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was interesting listening to Jay Johnson last night talk about the competition that we all know, and certainly he knows, in the SEC. He knew it when he took the job. But talked about establishing a home field advantage from his Tigers as the 1-2 rides high to even the count 2-2 to Leday. Take a look at the first 2 series in SEC play, the only 2 series here at the box. 2-4, again losing those series to A&M and Auburn. You've got Missouri coming in this week. Again, you'll have Georgia coming in along with Ole Miss. The 2-2. Leday puts a bat on this one to left field. Going back, Stevenson makes a great play. Was playing in shallow left center. The ball hit near him, but he had to backtrack, but never took his eye off of it. Brings it right into the glove for out number 1. Excellent play by the left fielder, made look easy.
That's where being a really good athlete helps you. That wasn't the best jump Stevenson could get on that ball. He didn't move for a bit after it was hit, and it was hitting really hard, but he's got the quickness and the closing speed to run that down and get the first out of the inning.
Connor Kimple will stand in again. The right-hander awaits, and Fontenot delivers a strike. The fastball on the outside corner makes it 0-1. Kimple tonight had the home run in the 3rd, was a strikeout victim last time in the 5th inning. Here's the 0-1 from Fontenot. Misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike, but you got the sense, again, Jay said it 1,000 times, it's a 56-game playoff in a regular season, but you could tell he really had emphasized what it means to protect the home field, especially with the series you have coming up at home and on the road. The 1-1 misses high with the heater from Fontenot to make it 2-1. As I mentioned, you've got Missouri this weekend, you've got Georgia later, and of course Vanderbilt. Missouri, I guess on paper you should have the advantage. Georgia and Vandy not going to be near as easy before you go on the road. Or I should say Vandy, you go on the road at the end of the year, and you got Alabama on the road, which I think is a surprise in the league. This one fouled off and evens the count now 2-2.
Yeah, Alabama's played a lot better. They certainly handed Tennessee their first loss of the season in SEC play back on Friday night, and that kind of poked the bear. Tennessee woke up and slapped them around a little bit in the second 2 games of that series, but that's been an Alabama team that's been game every single weekend in league play, and that's a program that at times has been a little bit of a pushover.
1 out and a 2-2 count. Kimple stands in. Righty on righty matchup. Fontenot winds and deals the 2-2. Misses high with that fastball, and that'll fill the count 3-2.
Should have mentioned with that line out at Leday at the beginning of the show, we talked about having to keep that leadoff base runner off base for Louisiana Lafayette. That leadoff base runner now 1 out of 7 on the night.
Payoff delivery upcoming from Fontenot. Devin fires. Misses outside for ball 4. So with 1 out, Kemple will earn a walk.
That was pretty close. 3-2 pitch away from Kemple. Didn't catch enough plate. The home plate umpire to ring him up.
Julian Brock will stand in, the catcher. 1 for 2 tonight. Picked up a single in the 5th inning. Was a strikeout victim to Ty Floyd back in the 3rd. Biggest surprise in the SEC, Alabama's success or Ole Miss's struggles?
Ole Miss's struggles, no question for me. That's a team with a lot of talent on paper. They just could not figure out the pitching.
Breaking ball, a bouncer, left of second base. Doty fields it. Throw to first. Beautiful stretch by Morgan, but they'll say his foot came off the bag. The throw was up the line at first. Complete splits by Morgan that time, but just got his foot off the bag on the throw, and it allows Brock to arrive safely. And now the Cajuns have runners first and second.
I wonder how that feels on Trey's leg, that right leg. He is wearing a brace tonight, as we mentioned earlier in the show. And Doty did everything he could to get to that ball, made a strong throw on the move away from the base around second. And Morgan stretched as far as he could and just came off the bag. I think it was the right call. As I look at the replay again, just a ball that was not hit very hard at all. And Doty fielded that ball on the other side of second base, made a strong throw, just not enough. And get that infield single. It's another ball that ULL has placed on the infield in just a very difficult spot for LSU to make a play. As much as LSU's infield defense has been maligned this year, it's been pretty good tonight in terms of communication and execution. That was a really tough play, and they just didn't make the throw accurately enough to get it done.
McManus calls for time, goes out and visits with Fontenot. Now Jason Kelly, the pitching coach, on his way out there as well. He'll bring the infield in. Again, the Tigers have an arm at the ready down in the right field bullpen. Again, with the Cajuns threatening now with runners first and second.
Chris, you mentioned Ole Miss's struggles this year, and I look at the scoreboard. In the top of the 5th in Oxford tonight, Southeast Missouri State's beating them 9-1. Now, in a vacuum, losing a midweek game to Southeast Missouri State is not that big a deal. But when you are in last place in the West, you've been swept 2 times on your home field, and you continue to produce results like that, it creates an apathy over there that they just quite frankly can't afford to have right now. And it's a tough spot for that Ole Miss baseball program right now. They don't appear to be finding their way out of trouble anytime soon.
Eric Raiselman was getting loose in the bullpen. Coach Kelly now head back to the dugout. Fontenot will remain on the mound. Yeah, I think when you look, I think most people who follow SEC baseball, Ole Miss is the biggest surprise. Even though Mississippi State, I think, got the headlines early simply because they're coming off a national title. So with 1 out, C.J. Willis at the plate. He reached on an infield single, the in-between play back in the 5th inning. Had a ground out 4-3 in his first at bat in the 3rd. The pitch from Fontenot misses low, and it's 1-0.
LSU's been in control of this game really from the start. But if C.J. Willis can find a gap somewhere, this thing gets a lot more interesting in a hurry.
Runners first and second. The 1-0. Strike at the knees. Evens it up 1-1. Former teammates battling it out here. Devin Fontenot, the veteran right-hander. C.J. Willis, the former Tiger. Again, runners take their lead first and second with 1 out. The 1-1. Bouncer. Doty has to go down on a knee. Bobbled it momentarily, and he will hold the throw. Everybody's safe, first, second, and third. And the drama thickens here in the top of the 7th as now the Raging Cajuns with the bases loaded and just 1 out.
Spoke too soon about the infield defense. That's a play that Doty knows has to be made. The idea wasn't terrible. He made sure he got in front of it and blocked it up. This was a chopper to his left. but as he blocked it up, it got away from him a little bit, and then he couldn't pick it up. And Willis does run pretty well for a first baseman. He's a pretty good athlete. Has played some outfield in his collegiate days, and that's a play Doty's got to make, and he did not. And now Raging Cajuns have a real threat.
Each team with an error. The first charge to LSU comes in the top of the 7th. Back to the top of the order. DeBarge stands in, the right-hander. A ground ball to Berry. Berry will come home with the throw. McManus trying to get it to first. Not in time, but a great job by Morgan on the hop to keep it in front of him right in the glove. So they will pick up the second out of the inning. Bases will remain loaded. But boy, if Morgan doesn't scoop that off the pick, that's a lot of trouble.
A lot of layers there. An excellent play by Morgan, as you mentioned, because the throw of McManus was bad. It was ticketed for right field, and Morgan made a great pick over there at first base. That's one, the ground ball to Berry. He's got a decision to make, and he's made that decision before the ball is hit. If it's to my left, I'm going to go to second base and try to turn 2. If it's making me move forward, it's to my right or it's right at me, I'm going to come home. The ball was hit directly at him. It wasn't hit especially hard. He had an easy throw home. McManus did a good job of acting like a first baseman and making the play, so that was executed very, very well. McManus' throw, as we mentioned, was bad, but Morgan is as good as you come over there at first base, and he picked it clean. That thing gets into right field, and ULL is going to score a run.
So for the second time, LSU is going to challenge that call. Again, the first base umpire, Christopher Simons, said that the throw from McManus, handled by Morgan, brought Trey off the bag. Immediately, LSU thought they might have a look. So for the second time, they will challenge that ruling on the field as we go under official review, brought to you by Acme Oyster House. Tigers won the first challenge. Again, we'll look at it in slow-mo as McManus got the out at home.
He's good there at home plate, as we see on the replay, so nothing to worry about at home. Now the throw to first, way late. Well, the batter DeBarge beat that off, so shouldn't be any issue at second. My perfect record is going to be intact, Chris.
So again, under review, I think they will always, in review, just like in football with collaborative replay, they not only look at maybe the question of the ruling, but they will watch the entire play to see, again, if something was missed. But it was clear that McManus stepped on home plate. It was also clear to us here in the booth that the throw was late. Not only did it bring Morgan off the bag, the throw did not beat the runner down to first. So with 2 outs, the bases are loaded. We'll wait on the decision from the umpires. They're quickly out of the review room, and they'll rule him safe at first base. So you are 2 for 2. LSU is 1-1 tonight.
Personally, I'd rather LSU be 2 for 2 and me be 1-1, but we'll take what we can get, I suppose.
So with 2 outs, LSU looking to elicit a ground ball, maybe a can of corn to the outfield, and keep it an 8-2 ball game here. Fontenot can't find the strikeout, which would be probably the optimum choice, as the first pitch misses high for ball 1 to Marshuk, the center fielder.
This is clearly the biggest spot of the game thus far. LSU clinging to that 6-run lead. One swing can make things interesting. 1 out can make things real demoralizing for ULL.
The 1-0 off the end of the bat, foul towards the railing at the first base dugout. Sends a few Tigers out of the way, but everybody's okay. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Fans, visit your local Kubota dealer. See why Kubota is the #1 rated reliability under 100 horsepower tractor in the US of A. Visit LSUKubotaDealers.com for your nearest Kubota dealer and test drive a Kubota today. Runners take their lead, first, second, and third. 2 outs. The Tigers up 8-2. The 1-1 breaking ball, sharply hit ground ball. It'll get by a diving Jody into the alley in right center. That'll bring in 2 runs to score, and the Cajuns with 2 outs get the game a little closer now, make it LSU 8, Louisiana-Lafayette 4.
Off the bat, that ball's hit, and I'm thinking, I think Doty might be able to get to that. It was just hit too hard, and he could not get to it. It was stung. It actually carried a lot of velocity into the outfield and nearly split the 2 LSU outfielders, easily scoring a pair of runs. A ball, just a good piece of hitting to go the other way and hit it as hard as they did. And the Cajuns cut into the lead. Now a 4-run lead for the Tigers, and that'll do it for Devin Fontenot's evening.
Jay Johnson on his way out to the mound. This time a little more hurried. He looks to the bullpen, yet to make the official call, but it's a matter of time. Nope, he just gave the look. And that will bring in, we believe, Eric Raiselman. 2 outs. And the Cajuns have cut into this LSU lead, scoring 2 runs here in the top of the 7th inning, coming with 2 outs. 8-4 LSU leads. Back after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network. As we continue on this Tuesday night, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Inside the Caesars Sportsbook broadcast booth, high above Skip Bertman Field, Alec Box Stadium, along with Hunt Palmer, I'm Chris Blair, our producer, Alondra Villarreal. In the Capital One studios, LSU leading Louisiana-Lafayette here in the Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic 8-4. Louisiana-Lafayette not going quietly in the night just yet. Able to poke one through the right side, score 2 runs to make it 8-4. Runners on the corners now for the Ragin' Cajuns. Again, those runs unearned on Devin Fontenot, but it's enough to bounce him from the game, and they'll hand the baseball over to Eric Raiselman here, as he will face off against Carson Rocafort. Willis and Brock came in to score those 2 runs. DeBarge stands at third. Marshak delivered the RBI. He's at first base. So Raiselman, the hard-throwing right-hander, looking in. Now will come set. Couple of steps, and he'll kick and fire. Pitch is low. McManus is looking to first after Marshak got a huge lead, but lost the handle, and it's 1-0.
Raiselman's been the fireman for LSU this year. It's tied for the team lead with 17 appearances. ERA is sparkling 1.30. In 20 2/3 innings, he is only around 3 earned runs and 12 hits. He has struck out 34 and walked 9.
Runner goes. The pitch. McManus scoops it up, fakes the throw to second to keep an eye on DeBarge at third. And the Cajuns in with another stolen base, again without a throw. We'll put runners second and third with a 1-1 count and 2 down.
Look, you are who you are. It's unconventional, down 4 in the 7th inning, to be trying to steal bases. But that's what Louisiana-Lafayette is. They know they're not going to count on getting a bunch of hits in an inning, so if they can get 90 feet, try to tackle on another one with a single, that's the way they've got to play the game.
Rocafort stands in. Righty on lefty matchup. Raiselman, the 1-1. Sent back into the screen foul. Raiselman gets ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tiger fans, show off your team spirit at the game or even while you're at home. Visit Cox.com/Tigers. Take a selfie with your favorite Tiger. Cox, we're LSU fans 24/7. Hunt, who would you take a picture with, your favorite Tiger?
You, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I bet. 2 outs and a 1-2 count. Runners second and third. Raiselman fires, and again, Roccaforte fouls it off to stay alive. 98 on that heater from Raiselman. It's still 1-2.
I don't know about the world of NFTs and all that stuff, but I think the picture with Cruz would probably be worth the most money one day. So I'll go with that.
Oh, you're not going back on your heartstrings or some of the players of yore. You're sticking with financial thoughts. I get it.
Got a newborn. We got college to think about now, all right?
Don't remind me. 2 outs. Raiselman looks in. The 1-2. This is low. Again, the fastball at 97. Leaving the count now to Roccaforte. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, LSU led 1-0 after Trey Morgan with a solo home run. After 2 innings, Louisiana-Lafayette would get a run in the third and a run in the fourth to take a 2-1 lead before LSU answered in the bottom of the 5th inning, opening the game up, leading 6-2. They tacked on 2 more in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and that's where we were, 8-2, until Louisiana-Lafayette able to get men aboard, take advantage of an error. So far, scored 2 runs, 8-4 our score. 2 outs, runners second and third for the Ragin' Cajuns, and a 2-2 count. Roccaforte awaits. Raiselman to the plate. 2-2, bouncing ground ball. Doty takes it on a high hop, throws behind the bag. Morgan, though, again able to get to it. This time, keep his back foot on the bag, and that will end it for the Ragin' Cajuns. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error committed by the Fighting Tigers. And the Cajuns leave 2 men on. Now hold the phone. Looks like we're going to get a review asked for by Louisiana-Lafayette. Their first challenge of the game. So now they'll ask the LSU defense to get back on the field. And we're going to put Hunt Palmer to the test, try to go 3 for 3. And hopefully he will say the play will stand. But we'll have to wait and see. Another official review brought to you by Acme Oyster House.
Here's my initial read on it. It was a slow developing play at first base. The ball beat the runner by a significant amount, and Trey caught it and I think moved his foot back to the base, and the umpire was looking right at it. So it would surprise me if he missed this one, but I'll be the judge of that on the replay.
Again, the benefit was Morgan was behind the first base bag, which allowed Christopher Simons to have a clear view as opposed to the side or the front of the bag. So you'll have to put faith in the fact that he had a great look at it and ruled it out number 3. Now we'll get our first replay here in the booth to try to help you out. I don't know. Again, that's not a great angle from the center field cam to see whether or not the foot came off at all.
I think that one's going to give us the look. That is close. Oh no, Chris, I'm in trouble.
Well, you get to make the decision after seeing the replay.
I think he's out. I think Morgan got the foot back. It came off, and I think it came back on.
Again, Roccaforte immediately asking his coaching staff to take the review, so we'll wait and see. Again, it was Raiselman on that last review from the third base camera well that kind of blocked our view as to when the foot came off and got back on. But I think you're clearly correct. Morgan was able to come off and get back on. Whether or not Roccaforte was on the bag or not will be the question. And again, not sure how many angles they are privy to that we are not, but we'll have to wait and see here.
It's a poor throw from Cade. That's not a difficult play. Had to take a couple steps to his right. You got to put that throw on the bag. You've got a great athlete over there at first base. As we look one more time, he makes the catch. I think he is off. No. Oh, did he get it on there to start with?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Looking at it,
way,
looked like he had possession and his foot was on, and then his momentum behind the bag carried him off. But I think he had the ball in his glove and the foot on the bag.
He had 2 shots at it. The initial time, then he came off, and then he goes back. I believe at least one of them is going to go into LSU's favor.
Well, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon with you. I'm going to say it's an out too. We'll all find out maybe here in a few moments. Again, they brought the LSU defense back out. The Cajuns had plated 2 runs and had 2 men on in scoring position. Here it comes. And he's out. That'll end it for Louisiana-Lafayette here in the top of the 7th inning. They do get 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error committed. They cut the lead in half. It's now 8-4 LSU in front. Time to stretch it out here at the box. Bottom of the 7th coming up again on the Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic, where the Tigers of LSU lead 8-4 over the Ragin' Cajuns. Back with more after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Tiger of the game. As the Tiger gets the hit. Section 201 wins 3 nachos.
Jordan Thompson going to lead off for the Tigers as we start the bottom of the 7th inning. LSU leading 8-4 over Louisiana-Lafayette. Jack Hammond will continue. He's worked 2 innings in relief. He's matched the extension of Cooper Rawls, who went 2 innings to start the game. First pitch to Thompson, high and inside, will bend him back out of the way with the fastball, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. You know, Hunt, when you think about this 2022 LSU baseball team, a couple of things stand out, both in non-conference and in conference games where they've been successful. The 1-0 misses high, now make it 2-0 as Thompson showed bunt and pulled it back. They're a team that in their successes and victories this year, when they lead late in a game and a team makes a challenge or a run, LSU's been able to answer back. It hasn't always worked when they're coming back late in the game behind, although it has on a few occasions. The 2-0 misses outside, but this is where you'd like to see LSU again flex its muscle a little bit here in the bottom of the 7th, and after giving up 2 runs, making it a 4-run game now to answer back.
When the Tigers have the lead after 7 innings, they are 18-1 on the season.
I told you a few times they've been successful doing that. There's a strike to Thompson to make it 3-1. It's amazing how you keep those numbers in your head. It's wild.
Yeah, no help from the sports information department of Bill Franquez whatsoever. I got them all right up here.
3-1 the count to Thompson. Hammond fires. There's a ground ball towards the shortstop. On the short hop, DeBarge with a nice fielding play throws to Willis in time for out number 1. Again, moving to his right, took it on the short hop and made a good throw to first.
You got 2 options there if you're DeBarge. Try to backhand that thing, plant and throw it, or you can circle around it and come through it as a shortstop. He went around that ball, fielded it off to the glove side, made a strong throw moving towards first base in time to get Thompson.
Well, we mentioned Jack Hammond beginning his 2nd inning of work. He may go 2 1/3 as it looks like they're going to make a change once again, waiting for the full indication. Nobody has yet left the bullpen for the Ragin' Cajuns, but Hammond's on his way to the dugout.
Time for the Ragin' Cajuns pitching change. Now pitching number 41, Chipper Menard.
So they go with number 41 coming in to pitch for the Ragin' Cajuns. Chipper Menard will take over. So another pitching change powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll be back with more. Tigers 1 out at the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning, leading 8-4 on the LSU Sports Radio Network. We continue here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 out. Tigers at the plate, and just before we returned, a huge applause as Gavin Dugas picked up a bat, came out of the dugout. He stands in from the right side. Back in, pinch hitting here for Braden Jobert, the DH, as the first pitch coming in misses for ball 1, 1-0. The Cajuns make the change. Menard takes over, a left-hander. The 1-0, big swing and a miss by Dugas. On a fastball from Menard, it's 1-1. Of course, Dugas battling the thumb injury for quite a while now, just trying to get back. And it's great to see him in the right side of the batter's box. The 1-1 swung on and fouled into the screen, falls behind 1-2.
The Tigers need Gavin. He adds a great right-handed bat to this lineup. We know what he did last year with the 19 home runs, leading the SEC in RBI. And this year it's been a lot quieter, but he does lead the team in on-base percentage at this point in the season, and we know he's got pop in that bat.
Here's the 1-2, missing high from Menard with a fastball. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, yesterday in the media session and again last night on his radio show, Coach Johnson said he liked the progress and they were going to try to speed up the gun a little bit, see how he handled the bat. Obviously it went well. The 2-2 is fouled off down the first base line. A little slow roller. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Tigers are 4-4 on the year against left-handed starters as opposed to 19-8 against right-handers. Clearly you don't see as many left-handers, but you need those right-handed Thunderbats in there against tough lefties. See ULL go to the pin here to a lefty, and Gavin gets the bat.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Menard winds the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase it low off speed. Dugas down on strikes, but again, great to see him in there. Hope to see more very soon. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, and that'll bring Tyler McManus to the plate.
Chipper Menard, the new pitcher from the left side from ULL, leads this team in appearances. This is his 18th time on the mound. ERA just over 5 at 5.06 and 16 innings of work this year. He's allowed 21 hits and 11 runs. 9 of them have been earned. He has struck out 18 and walked 8.
McManus will stand in 0 for 1 on the night. Big swing and a miss on a fastball at 92. McManus aboard on a walk. Back in the 2nd, strikeout victim in the 4th. Laid down a sac bunt last time in the 5th inning. This one misses low and inside, evens it up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, invite you out to the ballpark Thursday night. Start another SEC series, 7 o'clock first pitch. LSU and Mizzou. The 1-1 off speed, a strike from Menard, and it's 1-2. 6:30 on Friday and high noon here at the box on Saturday. The 1-2, high and tight, bends McManus back, and it's now 2-2. That fastball is McManus turned and kind of shrugged his shoulders a little bit. No one wants to wear a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Shift is on for the Cajuns. 3 infielders left of second base. To the right-handed hitter. 2-2, another breaking ball, and just got a piece. McManus stays alive.
Slow bender there from the left-hander. Man is just able to wait back on it to hit the top stitch on that baseball and get another chance to swing.
Here's the 2-2. Ground ball, base hit, gets by a diving DeBarge, the shortstop, bounces his way into left field. Tigers have their 7th hit of the night. McManus with his first single. And a 2-out single keeps it going here for the Fighting Tigers, and we'll see Josh Stevenson.
That's good hitting there from McManus. He was way out in front of the breaking ball in the previous pitch, and the pitcher saw that, said, I can get that fastball by him. He's going to be looking for that. McManus was ready to hit and pulled it right through the 6-hole. That's what you've got to do. Got to look for that fastball and react to everything else, and McManus did that, and he's rewarded with a single there with 2 outs.
Josh Stevenson has delivered hits with 2 outs in the inning this season. Breaking ball from Menard misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Stevenson ground out 4-3 back in the 2nd. Aboard on a walk in the 4th. And had a sac fly RBI to left field to bring in a run when the Tigers played at 5, or rather played at 2 in that 5th inning. There's a ground ball bouncer foul, first base side. Evens it up to Stevenson now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fans finding healthcare shouldn't require extra innings. That's why Our Lady of the Lake makes it convenient to fit care into your busy schedule. Learn more at olrmc.com/video visits. Proud to be the official healthcare provider of LSU Athletics. 1-1 the count to Stevenson. With McManus aboard at first, the 1-1. Another swing and a foul ball down the first base line on a fastball offering from Menard. It's 1-2.
That one caught a good chunk of Stevenson's lead leg there. He's got the armor on the ankle, but that one caught him on the inside of the leg, and he's walking it off a little bit.
Yeah, noticeable limp as he steps back near the batter's box, looks in, gets the sign from Jay Johnson. Digs in with a 1-2 count. Bottom of the 7th inning. 8-4 LSU leads. The 1-2 is a breaking pitch from Menard across the plate, and Josh knew it. Fooled him with a pitch down on strikes. Menard records a punch out, and that'll do it for LSU in the bottom of the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on. We go to the top of the 8th. 8-4 LSU leads on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Leading off the 8th inning for the Cajuns, third baseman Tyler Robertson.
LSU leading 8-4. We head to the top of the 8th frame here at Alec Box Stadium. Tyler Robertson, third baseman for the Cajuns, leads things off. Eric Razelman continues his relief effort on the mound. First pitch from Razelman, swing and a miss. Got the 96-mile-an-hour heater beyond him. It's 0-1.
Close the book on Devin Fontenot. 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits and a pair of runs. Neither was earned. He walked 1, had no strikeouts through 19 pitches. 11 of them were for strikes.
Razelman, 3 rocks and the 0-1. Did he go around? They'll say he did. Christopher Simons down at first. Says Robertson couldn't hold up on the pitch up in the zone, and it's 0-2.
Razelman's been primarily a fastball guy all year. Every once in a while throws in a token breaking ball, but hard stuff is good for him. That's what he's been going with just about all year.
This time we get 4 bounces on the rubber, and the 0-2 blows the fastball by him. Down on strikes goes Robertson, who barely held on to his bat.
That's a guy that's swinging a really hot bat as well, and he's just no match for it. It's running hard in towards the hands, and just nothing that Robertson can do with it. He'll grab a bunch of air and head back to the bench.
Trey LaFleur, DH tonight. 3 strikeouts, 2nd, 4th, and 5th inning. Check that. 6th inning, his last at bat. Razelman readies and fires. First pitch lifted in the air to left field. Stevenson, though, settles under it. And he'll have it for out number 2. So LaFleur just trying to go after the heater. Got it with the end of the bat, but right at Stevenson.
2 quick outs from Raiselman. I like that. Few pitches as we can get out of him, the best as Missouri coming to town here in a couple of days. But task at hand here, you got to finish off the Cajuns tonight.
So with LaFleur retired, Bobby Leday bat for the 2nd time tonight. He flied out to left field to Stevenson. And he batted in the 7th inning. Pitch from Raiselman upstairs for ball 1, 1-0.
Sometimes when you look down at the bullpen, you got to get the binoculars out, kind of see who it is. Sometimes the guy getting loose is 6'11", and you just say, well, that's Paul Gervais, and he's getting loose.
Another good Charter plane story with Paul Gervais this weekend. At first, Raiselman, the 1-0. There's a strike at the letters. The fastball makes it 1-1.
Where does he sit? They got to get him some extra leg room.
He actually sat in front of me on the wing, not in the exit aisle. But how about the young man? He got next to the window where I sit. His head was literally hitting the storage above him. Here's the 1-1. Slap foul out of play right side. And I'm thinking to myself, now if he decides he wants to stretch out,
you're in big trouble.
It's going to be a long hour, 15-minute flight. But Paul quickly looks back at me and goes, look at this, my head's hitting the top. He figures out that it curves when you sit in the aisle.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So he moved to the aisle seat, and he and I had a great flight back. 2 outs and a 1-2 count.
I don't have those issues.
Till a day. Swing and a miss. Raiselman got him to chase the 98-mile-an-hour fastball up and out. Leday down on strikes, and Raiselman looking sharp once again. 8-4 LSU leads. The Cajuns go quietly in the top of the 8th. LSU coming to the plate when we return on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Tigers leading the Ragin' Cajuns here at the box 8-4. We move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Glad to see a great group of Tiger fans and Ragin' Cajun fans here on this Tuesday night. Perfect night for college baseball weather-wise. Hope to see plenty of purple and gold this weekend beginning on Thursday. Back to the SEC. Tigers to looking to pick up their first conference series win at home when Missouri flies into town. LSU here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll have things led off by Josh Pearson. New pitcher on the mound for the Ragin' Cajuns. Bo Bonds takes over.
Most impressive numbers on this staff. His 14th appearance. He's got an ERA of 2.93 in 30 2/3 innings. He has struck out 50 batters and walked 16, given up 11 runs, 10 of them earned on 16 hits.
First delivery to Pearson. Takes a big hack, fouls it out of play left side, and it's 0-1 with another Rotolo's foul ball.
Fastball from Bond's going to be 93, 94. That one at 93 miles an hour to Josh Pearson.
The 0-1. Off speed, misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pearson, as we've talked about for the last 2 weeks, a glimpse into the future for the Tigers. Became the everyday starting right fielder in the Mississippi State Series. Launches one high and deep to left field, and at the wall, the grab made by Kimple. Just reached up with his tall frame. It stayed within the park, and he pulls it down for a long fly ball out. I mentioned Pearson coming into his own and into the starting lineup against Mississippi State in that weekend. Picked up his first 2 hits in SEC play, and then followed that up in Sunday's Game 3 with his first 2 home runs as a Tiger, and was very close there to picking up his 3rd, but as it turned out, Kimple makes the play, and there's 1 gone.
If he hits that 2.5 hours ago, he's got a home run with the other 3 guys who homered to left field. And Pearson, in 4 at-bats tonight, flew out to left twice, grounded out to short, and then doubled to the opposite way as well. It wasn't hit very well, but just staying through the ball and hitting the ball the other way for a freshman. Very disciplined approach.
Dylan Cruz now will stand in to face Bonds for the first time on the mound tonight. First pitch skips off the plate. 1-0. Cruz 1 for 4. That one was a big one and a pivotal part of the game. Strike on the outside corner makes it 1-1.
You mentioned Pearson being a glimpse into the future of this LSU program. I would agree with that. I also think it's a glimpse right in the present now. He's going to be in that lineup more often than not moving forward.
1-0 or 1-1 or 1-0 rather is fouled down the first base line. Third base line, stand corrected. 1-1 now the count. Cruz with a 2 RBI double, opposite field. Here's the 1-1 to Cruz. Fastball gets loose, misses outside. Now they get the count right. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Bo Bonds throwing the hard fastball. Brings it to the plate. This one again misses outside. One away here in the bottom of the 8th. Tigers would love to tack on a few, maybe several more for good measure. This one a ground ball, 1 hopper. Glove with the backhand by DeBarge. A long throw across the diamond from short is there for out number 2.
Ball was hit pretty good by Dylan Cruz, but DeBarge gloved it on a hop, as you said. Like 6 crow hops and fired that thing across the infield for the 2nd out.
Jacob Berry stands in. Berry 0 for 3 officially at the plate. Again facing the right-hander, he'll bat from the left side. Cajuns will move 3 infielders to the right side of the diamond. They'll leave Robertson, man on an island, playing shaded towards the second base bag. First pitch from Bonds, a strike. It's 0-1.
Tiger bullpen stirring a little bit. Razelman in his inning in the 3rd has thrown 14 pitches. We'll see if he comes out for the 9th.
The 0-1. Short of the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night on Jay Johnson's show, he was asked about someone like Jacob Berry when they put on this extreme shift bunting down the 3rd base line. Jay Johnson says, hey, we've given it thoughts, but when you got a guy like Berry at the plate who swings and launches one high into right center field, coming over is Marshak. He'll make the play. You tend not to do that. That time the fly ball out records out number 3 in the bottom of the 8th, and the Tigers go quietly. No runs, no hits, nobody on base. We go to the top of the 9th, and it's the last chance for the Ragin' Cajuns. They trail LSU 8-4. Back after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Top of the 9th inning. LSU leading here in the Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic, 8-4 over Louisiana Lafayette. Connor Kimple to lead it off for the Cajuns, and the first pitch offered up is fouled out of play. Raiselman back out there, a couple of arms tossing down in the right field bullpen. Again, Raiselman's been very efficient thus far on the mound.
It's Vittmeyer and Gervais in the bullpen. I think 30 is the magic number. He's at 15 right now. I don't think he'll throw more than 30.
The 0-1 to Kimple, swing and a miss. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and the Cajuns having trouble getting a bat on those. It's 0-2. Kimple tonight 1 for 2. Got a board on a walk last time in the 7th, and of course had the home run back in the 3rd. Tie the game at 1-1. Infield playing straight up, and the 0-2. Low and away, 97 on the gun. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fans, you won't believe how much life you can fit into the 2022 RAV4. Visit your local Toyota dealer or Toyota.com today. Pitch 18 upcoming from Raiselman. The 1-2. Again, missed low and away with a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
One registered 98 on the gun.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. High fastball, swing and a miss. 97 miles per hour. Eye level. Kimple no shot. 1 down, 2 to go for the Fighting Tigers here in the top of the 9th.
This Cajun lineup's just overmatched with Raiselman's fastball. I've seen now 3 out of the last 4 guys have been out on strikes and haven't been able to catch up to the heater. And he's not even showing a secondary pitch. It says here's 96, 97. Have at it, boys. And they are having no such luck.
Julian Brock will stand in. Strikeout his first at bat. Couple of singles to follow in the 5th and 7th. Right-handed hitter takes a swing and a miss. 96 on the heater from Raiselman, 0-1. Raiselman takes his steps on the bump. Now the 0-1. Outside missing, making 1 ball and 1 strike. Coming up following the action on the field. Hope you'll stay tuned. The Fighting Tiger 10th inning show. And we'll run down the final stat line. A couple of highlights. We'll get you scores around the SEC and visit with head coach Jay Johnson down in the clubhouse. With 1 out, top of the 9th, the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Dropped it down to 95 and low in the zone. Brock couldn't find it. It's 1-2.
Curious to hear from Coach Johnson. This has been pretty workmanlike thus far. I think he's got to be thrilled with the way Ty Floyd threw the ball. The offensive approach early was good. Put a couple of crooked numbers up in the middle innings, and to this point, it's been a workmanlike performance in the midweek after a tough weekend up in Fayetteville.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Brock readies the bat. Raiselman fires, and that one got loose at 96. Goes through the wickets of McManus, and it's 2-2.
If he did throw a breaking ball for a strike, I think the Cajun batters would screw themselves into the ground. They'd be so far out in front of it. But at this point, it hadn't been necessary.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. Look out. Missed inside. Brock saw that one flash by closely. Now a full count, 3-2. Raiselman again, 3 strikeouts in relief. Payoff pitch upcoming. Let's guess fastball. Ground ball, comebacker. It was a fastball, but hit right to Raiselman, and he will casually walk over. Underhand toss to Morgan. 2 down, 1 to go for the Fighting Tigers.
Nice job by Raiselman to continue to throw strikes. 3-2. Threw that thing right down the middle and was in a good position to field it on the way back. Tigers 1 out away from sending their rivals from the west back down I-10 across the Atchafalaya with a loss.
C.J. Willis will come up, the former Tiger, with 2 outs, wearing the red and gray tonight for the Ragin' Cajuns. 1 for 3 at the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss, 97 mile an hour. It's 0-1.
Boy, Raiselman's been good for LSU. Any situation they've called him, down, tied, winning, tight game on the road, at home, he's just been nails all year.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Willis ground out 4-3 in the 3rd. Picked up the infield single in the 5th inning. Got aboard on an error in the 7th. 2 outs and a 1-1 count. Tigers up 8-4 here in the top of the 9th. Raiselman, the pitch. Fastball missed the inside corner. 2-1 the count. Raiselman comes set. The 2-1 delivery. Missed low, now 3-1.
Raiselman just a couple short of that 30 pitch mark now. Well, now at 29 pitches on the night.
2 outs in the top of the 9th. LSU leading 8-4. The 3-1 pitch down the middle. Between the belt and the letters, and Willis late coming around. That'll fill the count 3-2, and the crowd here for the Fighting Tigers get on their feet.
Notice Raiselman high socking it tonight, which he usually doesn't do. I don't know if that's a tribute to 31, but it would be fitting if he could get the last out here.
2 outs. Tigers up 8-4. The payoff pitch. Missed low and away for ball 4, and Willis will earn a 2-out base on balls. First walk given up by Raiselman in relief, again to go along with 3 strikeouts. Jason Kelly will jog out from the first base dugout, bring the infield in, talk it over with Raiselman here, as Hunt pointed out on that ball 4. 31 pitches now for Raiselman.
I know 31 is 30 is their magic number for back-to-back days. If you throw 30 plus, you don't come back the next day. Of course, that doesn't apply with no game tomorrow, but Raiselman figures to be a big part of Thursday's game should it go the way LSU wants it to. Figured that might be right around the threshold for him, but Jason Kelly gives him a word of encouragement, trots back to the dugout and said, finish this one off, 22.
Top of the order, Kyle DeBarge. Tonight 0 for 4 in that leadoff spot. Average dipped down now to 237. Got aboard on a fielder's choice in the 7th. Runner goes. First pitch from Raiselman, called strike at the letters. Fastball at 95. No throw down to second. It's 0-1.
That'll be defensive indifference in the scorebook. Not that any of you are keeping score, but won't be credited with the stolen bases. LSU didn't bluff at throwing him down.
Raiselman looks back to second. Now the 0-1. Fastball just missed the outside corner. Raiselman thought maybe he had painted the outer black, but it's 1-1 now to DeBarge. Give the benefit of the doubt to the young right-hander. He didn't miss by much. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 in the air, right center field. Dylan Cruz perfectly placed, will come over. He will settle under it, and he will have it for out number 3. And the Tigers win. Tigers win. They take the 2022 Wally Pontiff Jr. Classic by a final of 8-4. For the Tigers, they move to 24-12 on the season. For the Ragin' Cajuns, they fall to 20-19. Tigers wrap it up on a Tuesday night in purple and gold. They'll celebrate on the field as LSU picks up a much-needed win after a tough weekend. Try to get the steam going in the right direction as they'll be back to action on Thursday coming up in SEC play against Missouri. The final tonight, your Fighting Tigers of LSU 8 Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana-Lafayette 4 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.